Live 1-877-794-1973.
Wait a minute, these guys are cool, but not that cool.
No BS is presented by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Now, Billy and Armin on the game.
No BS on the game. Enjoys the power of friendship, enjoys your friendship and camaraderie, and needs to call upon those powers to break this wicked curse that our Milwaukee Brewers baseball team's on. Curse? That's way too strong. Right? That's Armin Sari, and I'm Billy Schmid. Dave Gaspers on the other side of the glass. 877-794-1973 is the NicolaLaw.com talk and text line. We're going to interact and ask that question with our friend Tim Allen coming up in about 20 minutes from right now. He said he's glad yesterday's behind us. Yesterday's behind us. He celebrated the 20th anniversary of the post-game show yesterday at Dugout 54. Very cool celebration there. Incredible celebration of life yesterday for one Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
All 42,000 plus in attendance yesterday, and everybody else watching on television. I don't know if there was a dry eye in your living room, Armin. Definitely wasn't in mine.
Yeah.
And to feel the incredible emotion that the entire stadium was feeling throughout the day. And then it be maybe the longest baseball game that I've witnessed, even though it was 2 hours and 51 minutes official game time.
It felt long because of the circumstances, I think, right?
I felt like the Daytona 500 I was at this year, and they had 3 rain delays. Like, it was a long afternoon, ultimately ends in ridiculous disappointment and frustration and question marks about your closing situation that nobody thought you'd question. But yesterday felt like a phenomenal day at the ballpark. Everything until the finish. There's always that thing in basketball. Hey, your move was great. Your drive was phenomenal. It was everything but the finish.
Yeah. Like
everything but the finish on the layup there yesterday. Firing it over the backboard, similar to the Chicago Sky. That was a tough deal yesterday.
Got me laughing there at the end. It hurt. It really hurt. You know, some games are always painful. You know, I always give you my cookies theory. I hate blowing leads. I hate losing a game you were so close to winning because you started to taste victory. So anytime you blow a save and you lose a game, it hurts, right? Anytime. But that one hurt more than a normal one. I mean, for multiple reasons, and you mentioned them all. I really wanted to win the game yesterday. The Bob Uecker celebration was beautiful. It was touching, emotional. And it was one of those games you just felt like we got to win today.
So eloquently done by the Brewers yesterday too. I mean, Bob Costas was phenomenal.
You know why? I love Bob.
And you know that I make some jokes about Bob Costas.
You always make jokes like,
he was
Armin,
incredible yesterday.
I mean, and I'm one of those, I'm like a Bob Costas kid. Like, you grew up
total Bob Costas stan. Yes.
It was awesome. Cause one of the, it's fun. It's one of those things actually that the first thought I had was like, amongst many other thoughts during the celebration during, the remembrance and the ceremony was, these are the things that Bob usually MCs. These were all the events that usually Bob was the MC for. And, there's always the reminder, there's that void that Bob's not there. But it was, man, when everyone came out, the whole team came out for that first pitch, for all that stuff, it was just, very emotional.
The uke on the back of the jerseys yesterday was a great touch.
That was another one. It was one of those, you just didn't want to lose. I said, we got to win this today. And then we get down early. Okay. But claw back, big homer. And then I'm like, can we get some tack-ons? Didn't get it. So once again, we're strapped in the trenches and trying to sweat this one out. And, you get so close, you're right down to the wire. Trevor got that second out with the big strikeout. I'm like, this is it. And just kind of like a shot in the heart. That's kind of what it felt like, because you wanted to win that game yesterday for that reason, obviously. And of course, Timmy as well. I mean, he had a big day yesterday, so
it was a big day. Yeah, they had a lot of fun.
I wanted that to be a celebratory thing, and it always is, but it's not the same when your team doesn't win,
No
it's
doubt
just
about
not
it.
the same. And that's where that one hurt yesterday. I think obviously you're in a division race. It's August 25th. You're trying to hold on to your lead. Yeah, I mean, that part of it always is going to hurt as well, and that's the bigger picture, and that's what we're focused on. But, man, yesterday felt like one of those, I said to myself, we got to get this. We got to get this. And up until the last out, I thought we'd still find a way to win, but unfortunately didn't happen.
And I think sadly, I think there were a lot of Brewers fans, and we're already seeing it on the talking text line, that saw when that 27th out walk to into the batter's box as a pinch hitting appearance for Anthony Siegler instead of Caleb Durbin, who, again, admittedly so, that Ryan Walters.
Walker.
Pardon me. Ryan Walters, former head coach of Purdue, and now he's the DC out west. Walker has a wild delivery. Now, he's their former closer, struggled in the beginning of the year, and now he's really regaining form. And that's got to be a tough thing to be able to hit from the right side. Like, I a lot of times will, and really not baseball savviest cat in the world, sometimes I think we overrate the lefty-righty split sometimes. If you're one of the best players, send him out there and figure it out, right? Like if you're going to take out a Christian Yelich a number of different times because it's a left-handed pitcher, I don't get down with that, right? At some point, I want my best players in those spots. I'm not saying Caleb Durbin is an all-star. I'm not saying he's multiple-time MVP.
No, I mean, like, is he that guy that had proven that spot? Right.
He is friend of show.
And he was hot
yesterday. Homer and double in the game.
He did.
So the frustration on that one is, I understand. Siegler probably should have drawn a walk, but when you are going up in the best outcome, in all reality, let's be fair, the best outcome for Anthony Siegler yesterday was he was walking on 4 pitches.
That's how I was hoping. That's what I was hoping.
That was going to be what felt like the best outcome, the most likely of outcomes that were in the positive direction of the Brewers. And at least with Durbin, you feel like a flare into the outfield is a possibility. It definitely doesn't feel like that with Anthony Siegler, albeit Tim Allen said he's going to have a big moment. So I was waiting for it yesterday. Would have been yesterday if Anthony Siegler would have gotten into one. But the battle after the Chapman double to lead off the inning against McGill, I mean, he battles in that Flores strikeout, almost a 10-pitch at bat.
That was huge.
Gets him to K.
Yeah.
They weren't able to get Matos out all weekend long. What did my man go, like 7 of 13?
That was crazy. I kept looking up at Matos' numbers. I mean, they were terrible most of the year. Mendoza stuff. I'm like, this guy is killing us. Like, we
could not get him out all weekend. We can't
get this guy out. Willie, I get. Willie was motivated. He was hot.
Man, I understand. Yeah, guy coming off an IL. He's a stud.
I wasn't happy about it, but Willie Adames having a big weekend wasn't something I was totally shocked by.
If Rafi Devers puts one off the wall, you understand it.
You get it. But Luis Matos, really? And there was a lot of Lewis Brinson yesterday and this weekend in that and in the Willie Adames weekend.
924.
Well, Lewis Brinson, didn't have the good career. Obviously, we traded him. But when he came to Milwaukee, he always hit a home run.
Sure,
So there was one of those things. And Willie's good, and Willie's getting better this year. What I mean by getting better, he's been getting better and better, getting hotter and hotter. So I was kind of like, okay, that's happening. But Luis Matos, really? And I would like to say, I didn't bring up Nick Marley's name yet, okay? Marley, whatever that.
What's Nick Marley?
That idiot behind the plate that was calling that. I mean, that was a ball, but whatever. That's an excuse, but it's true, but it's an excuse. So I finally invoked his name.
There you go.
Yes, you're right. And the thing I say is, like, there was some information to support pinch hitting for Durbin there. There was some, and I don't have a complete problem with it other than it seemed like a very unlike Pat Murphy thing to do. Caleb Durbin had been hot. You felt like that gut was like, you know what? Caleb's probably one of our best hitters right now. At least it felt that way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the bat I want up in there, even though, Ryan Walker's got really good numbers against righties and stuff. Okay, but to your point, Billy, sometimes that's the guy you want in there. And Siegler has had some bad luck, people think, at the plate with some of his exit, but he still hasn't. In there, I'm hoping for a magical moment. I'm looking for a home run. Like, you have a chance to win the game with a dinger.
I'm trying to see how the ball's getting out of the infield.
Okay.
Again, that's for the very pessimistic side. I think a lot of Brewers fans were wondering.
But I'm thinking, like, maybe we can have that magical moment and reverse the whole feelings of this day, right? And I'm just like, it's going to be tough for me to hope for Siegler to hit one because he had never hit one. So it was like one of those things where I was like, maybe I would have been okay with Durbin in that situation. That being said, you get put in that position, you got to get the job done. Unfortunately, Anthony Siegler didn't, and that was it. Yeah, Luis Matos really. That
was a problem throughout the weekend. The Matos issue.
I've been talking so much about the Giants the last month.
You did decide to call them frauds multiple times on Friday.
Yeah, so I got to say, maybe part of it's my fault. Although Friday night I felt pretty good because I was really like, oh, good. Yeah, we say Contreras saved us. We got the win. Now we're going to be fine. At least win one more game in this series, and I guess I'm the GOAT in that sense.
But you bring up Friday night, and I think that's the good part of the teeter-totter, right? Like when we're going in with the back and forth and the interaction with Zabe and Butch, Butch is like, hold on here. I'm gone for 4 days, and all of the excitement and energy and the Euchre magic is gone. Well, you felt some of that magic on Friday night when Wild Bill runs wild on a 1-0 fastball or sinker or whatever that thing was, center cut. Like that was batting practice BP style for William to be able to take out on Friday night after the ball bounces off his chest and the tying run scores in the top of the 9th inning. So you do still have the magic moments in the midst of the time where you were admittedly not playing near your best game. You're also down 2, 3, maybe 4 guys.
A lot of guys. I mean, those lineups were not
down quite a bit of your best players,
that's a good
and
point.
you're not at full strength. However, you plan on getting some of those guys back. You do, but the horses and the horse yesterday in Trevor McGill, who, Pat Murphy said it after the game. You're going to have games like this. Your closer's going to give it up. It's going to happen. But when your closer has been as seemingly untouchable as he had felt like all year long, next appearance will be his 50th appearance in 2025. That's up there with the league leaders. He's second in the league in saves. You have 3 of the top 10 used relievers in the National League.
And they've been so good. That's part of the reason they've been used a lot, right? But they are used a lot this year.
And I'm excited to ask Tim Allen about this when he joins us in a couple of minutes. Everybody's going to say the bullpen is the problem right now, or the back end was the problem. I mean, I'd flip it around and say, if you're not getting 17 outs at all, ever seeing into the 7th inning as of late in the last 2 weeks for your starting pitchers, man, there's been way too much ass to this bullpen, to the place where Nick Mears is seemingly a closer coming in the 6th inning 5 different times.
Yeah, I mean, how many
because
times?
Because pressure is on, and he's got to be able to put you and extinguish a fire. So as difficult as it might be to look at, and Trevor McGill has been phenomenal all year long. He's not throwing the curveball for strikes right now. I anticipate he does sooner rather than later.
Yep.
You're in the midst of 19 games in 18 days. You don't have a whole lot of time to take a deep breath from him because the Arizona Diamondbacks are coming in here and they're going to put up some runs. But a runaway victory would allow you some grace. Getting some insurance runs would allow you a little bit of room for error, margin of error. These guys are going to give up runs. They are going to get hit. But when you're in the pressure cooker, as you've seen this team be for the last 3-4 weeks, you don't get a whole lot of reprieve when you're in a 1-run game seemingly every single night.
Absolutely, Billy. I mean, the Brewers have been in that situation ever since that, last game against the Cubs, where they put their bullpen in situations when their Tyler had the lead to have no room for error for 4 or 5 innings. And that's what makes it really tough. So, I saw someone say, well, we're seeing now finally who Trevor McGill is. Well, what does that mean? He has 50 saves in the last 2 years. Who he is. He's been one of the best closers in baseball.
Yeah, I think he's been phenomenal.
And that's the tough thing I have with it. It's like all of a sudden there's this ER part. Yes, Trevor McGill now has blown 3 or 4. It's tough to put that first one on him, as you said before the show. We were talking. But he has blown 3 or 4. But, the issue is he's been mostly just throwing fastballs, right? I think that's the stuff you start looking at. Not like, well, we should have had someone up in the bullpen. Well, that's kind of tough to do because you're just going to put up a guy in the bullpen every time your closer goes out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Grant Anderson in the bullpen wasn't making me feel any better.
It's not the process you go through.
I don't know if that was making anybody else feel any better.
Either your closer or you're not, and he's your closer because he's been really good. His whip's been really good. That's just what he's been. That's your guy. He was up to 30 pitches. Yeah, he was up to 30 pitches because he just had a long at-bat. So what are you going to do? Call time and try and rush a guy up? But that's not how that works.
Probably wouldn't.
He's your guy, and you have to try and get that out. The question of moving forward, Trevor McGill, is do you think he's really in a place where he is struggling and needs to be taken out of that role? I think we're too early for that yet, but I know fans are saying, listen, we don't have much time or room for error. Well, we have some. We built ourselves a big lead in the division. Now, yes, it's down to 5. You don't want it to get any closer, but that's part of the reason you do that. But you have to be able to ride out those rough patches a little bit, Billy. Like you said, relievers are going to give up runs, and that's a tough thing for fans.
It is a part of the game.
A lot of fans do not like the fact that, especially really good ones that have set a standard for themselves, they give up a run or two, and those are important runs, as they always are in that role, and they say, there's something wrong. We have to make a big change here.
There's also a grass is not always greener situation. I mean, Abner Uribe is a phenomenon to watch. I mean, he is so much fun to enjoy.
Right.
A little bit of a high wire act himself. Like, if it has not been 3 up, 3 down, great immaculate inning for one Abner Uribe as of late. Again, he's one of the most used relievers in baseball. They're going to get hit. They're going to get tagged every once in a while. At some point, starters, somebody haul off and get 20 outs. Somebody get into the 7th inning. Or maybe a 7-1 victory is in the cards to be able to give those guys some rest every once in a while. DL Hall down. The length that you get from him is also being missed right now. So the leverage innings, the amount that they've been asked to provide, lends itself to these guys are going to get tagged a little bit. But I've got more of a problem with what happened in the bottom of the ninth inning than I do in the top half of the ninth inning. 877-794-1973. We'll talk about it with Tim Allen, host of the Baseball Postgame Show. Yesterday was not the day for a patented Tim Allen rant. However, I think my man is getting close. I think he might be getting close. And we're going to ask him on the other side just how close he is to one of those patented rants. We're going to talk to Billy Edwards Jr. inside of a half hour from right now. Straight up 10 o'clock. Badgers' new quarterback, Billy Edwards Jr., going to join us game week as they get ready for Miami of Ohio on Thursday night. Billy Edwards stops by, no BS, to discuss it amongst a lot of other things. And you're here at 877-794-1973, streaming live on YouTube and X, as well as the iHeartRadio app and all the Game Network stations. It's no BS.
Came from this city, can't change us. We beat to the same drum, the same drum.
KB here. I'm sure you've heard us talking about and have tried Pep's Draft House Pizza by now, but are you legit? If you're craving the taste of your favorite childhood pizza, make it Pep's Legit. With a stone-baked, cracker-thin crust, zesty tomato sauce, whole milk mozzarella, toppings that take you back, and a signature spice topping. Legit pizzas are the real deal. Pick up one at your local grocery store for the authentic at-home pizza parlor experience. Be legit and try one today.
Being present and in the moment for family activities was impossible because Will Burt was so focused on the constant pain in his leg.
My wife likes to take walks. I always kind of dreaded going on walks because they hurt. The boys both play baseball. I coach their teams. I was going to do them and be in pain and be uncomfortable and kind of sacrifice my own health.
An old Achilles injury left Will coping with agonizing pain until he discovered the natural biologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No surgery or steroids. The procedure took place in the office and Will walked right out.
I feel great. There's no pain. There's no tenderness.
Patients like Will are feeling amazing and living their best lives.
Ironically, just got off the golf course today. So I think that's a good telltale sign that the Achilles is feeling better.
Don't be in pain another day. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Step into American Place Casino, where the excitement never ends. Located in Waukegan, Illinois, just a short drive from Milwaukee. Over 900 slot machines, your favorite table games, 4 restaurants, live entertainment, and now our brand new poker room. Plus, we're proud to be the friendliest casino around with service that sets us apart. Whether you're here to hit the jackpot, catch a game, or just have an unforgettable night out, American Place Casino has it all. American Place Casino. Closer than you think. Friendlier than you expect. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling, and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Hey, it's Brian Butch for Window Nation. Right now, this month, get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. That's right. You could pay nothing until 2027. Here's the thing. You want to go to the hottest baseball team, the best baseball team in all of America? You could get 2 pair of tickets to an upcoming Milwaukee Brewers game when you replace all the windows in your home. So give them a call at 866-90NATION or visit windownation.com.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy in the rinse straight. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
How far is too far? In the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee, that's up to you. Powered by a new 1.6-liter Turbo 4 engine, it's the iconic SUV, reimagined to put today's adventures and tomorrow's dreams in reach. So go ahead, keep the good times going. The all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
What's up, Tim? Sal Frelick here. I just want to say congratulations on 20 years. Man, that's a long time. Just everyone here is so grateful to have you around, and still hearing the rumors that you want to retire number 10 as the 10th man. But as we know, that's my number, so I think I need to hang on to that for a little bit longer before we can retire that. But no, I just want to say congratulations, man, and everyone down here, loves having you around.
Incredible human. Really enjoy getting to know you as a person. I don't know if you're any good on the radio or not, but you sure as hell a nice man. Yeah, I hope you can do it 20 more years. You look young enough. I know you don't look yourself in the mirror very often, but if you did, you look great. And yeah, really, really, really blessed to have known you and to work with you a couple times, and wish you nothing but the best, man. Nothing but the best. 20 years, 20 great years, and now let's double down.
Let's double down. That is Pat Murphy alongside Brewers Gold Glove outfielder Sal Frelick.
It's awesome.
Wishing Tim Allen all the best yesterday as he celebrated 20 years of post-game coverage in Milwaukee and joins us now.
Gotta throw a dig in there.
That was so good, dude. I'm telling you what. I was in a mood yesterday. I was a little upset, a little perturbed, a little frustrated. There's some stuff going on. And when he said that, Timmy, I'm telling you, the laugh that I got, the pop in my kitchen was electrifying.
That was good stuff by Dave Gasper. I think Gasper was behind all of that.
It was.
Way to go. Hey, Dave.
And in hearing the lead up and the build up, I'm just glad I didn't spoil the surprise, because I had a feeling the Murph that Dave, I did not know the Frelick one was coming.
Yeah.
What was his genuine reaction when you first mentioned the wanting to retire the number 10?
Oh, he laughed. He's like, oh, okay, well that's my number. I kind of need that a little bit. So like he was ready to play with him.
Great. He gets a special exemption though.
Yeah.
When Sal is done with it, no more reissue unless it's to the Milwaukee Brewers.
You get grandfathered in, right? Like
Mariano Rivera style.
Yeah,
okay.
He was the last one to wear 42. So,
but no retiring of 54 yesterday.
No.
Now
there was the broadcast center, not the press box. Not the press box.
I thought that was interesting.
It's still the Bob Betts press box. It is the Bob Uecker Broadcast Center.
Yeah.
Which I like because it gives fans an opportunity to see the facade and see and celebrate there. Timmy, we talked about it a little bit. I still think the street needs to be named after Uecker. Like Brewers Boulevard doesn't have the same
obvious.
Doesn't have the same
Uecker Place.
Yeah, either that or I was gonna say Bob Uecker Boulevard. Like that just has a better ring to it in my opinion.
Avenue, yeah.
But I thought the celebration of life yesterday was excellently done. I'm not usually the biggest Bob Costas fan. However, I don't know that anyone could have done it better. It made it feel, there's certain guys that have a big time feel to them, right? I always say when Joe Buck is calling a football game, it feels like a massive game. When Jim Nance is on the call, it feels like a big game. When Bob Costas is on a microphone, it feels like a massive sports moment. And it really was a phenomenal celebration of the entire life that he led entertainment-wise, baseball and beyond.
Yeah, Costas did do an amazing job for sure. I mean, very profound stuff too, and some of it was not scripted. Also, in listening to that, that he was just throwing him in there a little bit. Absolute pro. I've always liked him as a broadcaster.
Yeah, I've always loved him too. I mean, he's one of my favorites. I think he was the man for that moment. He's he's always been the most eloquent guy in being able to do it scripted or unscripted and be able to wrap it up. He had an amazing story about Mickey Mantle and Stan Musial. You can look up on the internet sometime. It's amazing, but it was a bummer.
You guys help me?
Yeah, absolutely. We need help. Yeah.
Can you help me? Because I learned something. I think, yes, my voice is crushed lately.
Well, you were also ripping and screaming through a packed dugout 54 yesterday. I could tell. I could tell that you're.
No, and I had a band thing Saturday night too.
Yeah.
So you're working hard.
I need to give it a rest. But I never knew that there was a connection with George Brett. Now I consume a lot of Brewers information. I think it's safe to say.
Absolutely right.
I've never really run into anything more than a mention here and there. But George Brett, you guys help me?
They're boys, Timmy. They go out. They go out to dinner apparently in Phoenix. I learned that when George Brett said it.
I didn't know either.
I definitely learned it when George Brett was talking about it.
I'm not knocking George Brett.
No, of course not. We know that. We just didn't expect him to be the guy to come share memories and all that, right?
It's just like you're looking at Sesame Street, and one thing doesn't match the other, and you're like, oh,
why is Barney
there's
here?
Robin Yount, and there's Bud Selig, and there's BA, and there's George Brett.
I think the reason for it, because I totally get your point, but I thought the reason for it was to try to depict how all of baseball
impact on baseball,
admired him.
Okay.
I thought that
Fair
was
enough.
more of the way of saying it instead of like, we know that Pete Vukovich loves Bob Uecker. Right.
Yeah.
Like we know all these guys love Bob, but did you guys know George Brett loves Bob Uecker too? Like, so I think that was where it was, because otherwise it would have just, the dynamite drop in Monty. That would have been the only good celebration I think owed outside of Milwaukee.
It's funny, Tim.
So I got it, but I was with you as well.
I had a similar reaction because I thought I heard, you think you hear and consume every piece of information about Uecker stories and his relationships.
I'll admit it, I missed it.
I never, but you know what I said to myself yesterday? I said, wow, this is another way in his to be surprised once again at the ultimate reach of that Uecker had and his impact and the reach that his influence had.
Yeah.
Like there's another one that we didn't even know about. It almost feels like truly everyone's touched by Bob in one way or the other. And that was a great example of that, Tim.
It just was, and then you have the Brewers losing, and it just sort of, it was such a great way to build this thing up. I truly believe that. And they did it perfect, and the game was delayed, and it should have been. And everyone, nobody seemed to be rushed, although you could tell that they were like, they were told, you're not going to drone on here all afternoon.
I would love to know how, was that young lady, Ashley? The girl that when we went to the game last year and you threw out the first pitch, she was the one coordinating everything on field.
I can't remember the name.
She would have. I can only imagine.
Amanda, I think.
Amanda, that was her name. Yes, I apologize, Amanda.
How nervous
Timmy,
she was.
she had to have been pissed. She was nervous. She was wondering, saying, "Hey, let's speed this thing up. We got to get all these chairs off. We got to build this, deconstruct this entire set." But she was the only one sweating because, like your point, everybody else, it could have went on for another 40 minutes and nobody was going to be upset.
Yeah, for sure. And it was just done well, and it was concise, but it was really emotional too. And listening to it in the car on the way to the remote, it was just like, wow. I mean, I try and think about him every Brewer game. I really do. And I think I've accomplished that since he's been gone. But it's almost like you miss him even more now.
Yeah, and
definitely.
And there is one part of it that, like, yesterday doesn't now just say, okay, now we start going forward. You do. Everyone has been going forward. And I thought the radio guys yesterday, Timmy, knowing that you were listening to it that way, I thought they did a really good job surmising how, like, yes, this is a touchstone time. This is the 10-pole day that we celebrate, Bob. But I mean, this is one of our friends, right? So like, this is kind of a weird way to just be talking about, even though 7 months later, we try and deal with the grief every day. So I thought that was very, very well said by them. I also like that Murph said something in the post game along the lines of, you can't tell me that he's not with us every day. We have the best record in baseball, right? Like, you guys have been watching the entire season. You can't tell me he's not alongside with us, seeing some of this. But all that good stuff to say this. We got a problem in the back half of the 9th inning here with Trevor Megill. Armin said people yesterday were fighting him online, saying now he's just becoming who he was. This is who he always has been. I think he's pretty solid. I still think the bigger issue is the lack of support that the starting pitching is giving the bullpen
part of it.
/ offense needing to get some tack on runs. What's your feeling here in any trepidation with the 9th inning, because your all-star closer has now blown back-to-back saves in 3 or 4?
Yeah, 3. Is it 3 or 4?
Or 3 or 5, maybe? Is that what it is?
3 or 5.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
It's 3 or 5. However, let me add this little tidbit in here. Of those 3 blown saves, the Brewers have won 2 of those games.
2 of the games, yes.
Okay, so that you get a little bit of a pass on the old Doug Melvin. You don't pull a closer from his role until he blows saves in multiples. Okay, and that's word for word what he told me. Okay, is this multiples? Yeah, sort of. It's getting there for sure. It's on the edge, right? 3 or 5. I mean, that's multiples. However, don't you add a little addendum to this and just say, hey, but the Brewers won 2. So is it real? Does he get a little bit of a pass to recover?
And I think you have to ask yourself, if you were to make a move like that.
No.
What are we talking about here?
So,
just because you get because you don't score any touchdowns, the quarterback is still going to get roasted if he turns the ball over 4 times just because your defense wins 10-6.
Well, now, so then we get to this then. Based on that logic, let's move forward. If we're going to define multiples, is it one of the next 2? So then it would be 4 of 6.
And
4 of 7. I'm sorry.
Doesn't it matter how it happens too? To me, it does. I mean, if he looks a lot better and there's 3 errors in the field, how can I put that on him?
Okay,
but if it doesn't, it's
a good harmonizing of the question.
Or does it have to be a 1-2-3 inning? Let's say
you have been fully harmonized on that one.
But hold on. Let's say Trevor gets out of it yesterday with the bases loaded. Let's say that ball is looped to the right part of center and he gets out of it. We're talking about him being back on track or not. People are going to say he was nervous, but guess what? Abner Uribe walked a tightrope, but he got out of it. Yep. So that's the problem I have with just looking so.
So he blows the other set. The next
look at
one of the next 2
saves yesterday. I mean, the pitch count counts here too.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
So I get the little blooper and bleeder and maybe an error, but when you're throwing 28 pitches and you still haven't locked down the save here.
Yeah.
And there's another thing to think about.
And Timmy, you still can't throw the curveball for strikes, right? Like, I think that was the toughest part. So all of what Armin
when you were
said,
spiking your fastball the other day, well, then you got double bubble going on.
Yep.
No wonder.
Not walking guys. That'd be a help.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And Megill is going to get back on track. You assume he will.
I believe
you have
so.
to. You just have to. I don't have the answer for it. Uribe, you're going to tell me he's going to be clean every 9th inning? You want to throw him in there?
Right.
He's a little bit of a trip to Hollywood at times. There's runners all over the place.
And then what's the plan? Does Megill move to the 8th? Does he move to
7th? Do you lower the leverage? What do you do? Right.
Nick Mears has closing experience.
There's a lot of guys in that bullpen that could do it, but
for right now, you leave him alone. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, because well, and Timmy, I also think the other part of it is because the starters are continually putting you in a position where you have to bring in a fireman, right? You have to bring somebody in to extinguish the situation, and that's where Mears seemingly is shining at the moment. But it all becomes a part of it, right? The complementary ball is in any sport, and if the bullpen is getting worked, I think they have 3 of the top 10 or 12 used relievers in the National League, not named Trevor Megill. Like that shows the amount that they're being asked to do maybe that was the point as to why they added a Shelby Miller and not a bat, like a lot of people were wondering, and maybe they should have grabbed potentially one more. But you are going to need these innings from somewhere. I also don't know that it's a position and a time where you can be afforded the luxury of seeing if somebody else can close, because you still get a week before you get an off day. So like, even if you want to say, hey, McGill's unavailable for the next 2 days, we're going to let him calm down. I don't know that you're in a trial run period because you don't get a day off here in a number of days.
No, you don't. And this may be with regards to just the relievers. The price you pay on a win tonight sort of attitude.
Fair. Yep.
And so you are dog days of summer right now. It's a grind right now, and they're grinding through a really this schedule really roughed them up in a time frame that you just didn't want to happen. Fine, played 19 games in 18 days back in May and June. Fine, but this is when you really the wear and tear is going to. So twofold. One, Billy, you're right on the money. The starting pitchers have got to grab 2 to 4 more outs per outing. They have to get a few more outs.
Yeah.
They just do. Because I heard you earlier talk about they're going to high leverage with your first man out of the pen, and it's a 2-1 game or 3-1 game right there in the 5th or 6th inning. What are you going to do? Of course you're going to use arms.
Yeah.
Then the other thing is, the other fold is your offense needs to start scoring some runs, guys. You got to start putting up some numbers here. Look, they've lost. They're 2-5 in their last 7. Cubs are 6-1 in their last 7. Okay, you're not nervous about that? If that happens again, whether it's now or whether that's in 2.5 weeks, this is a really close race.
It is tight, man. We appreciate it, Timmy. We're up against the heartbreak. We'll be talking to you tonight after the game.
See you, boys.
There he is, Tim Allen. He is with us here on the Baseball Postgame Show tonight after Brewers and Diamondbacks. Billy Edwards Jr., Badgers quarterback, is up next.
Let's go! Packers Monday is sponsored by Habish, and Rotier and Tri-City National Bank.
Real feedback from Brookfield and Mequon's Reset Restore MD patient.
My daughter's intravenous ketamine treatments made a significant difference in just 2 weeks.
R&R for relief. Reset Restore MD. rnrmd.com.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
It's KB for Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. If you're considering new windows, doors, or siding to increase your home's efficiency and curb appeal, I highly recommend Tilton for your home improvement project. Get started at utilton.com. That's the letter U, Tilton.com. KB here. You know winter is coming. Snow, wind, freezing temps. And if your siding is loose, that cold air will howl right through your walls. That's why you need Javier and the team at Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. They've kept Milwaukee homes warm for years with the industry's most advanced solid core siding, built to handle anything Wisconsin throws at it. It boosts curb appeal, lowers energy costs, and comes with a lifetime limited warranty that's even transferable to the next owner. So get your siding project started today by going to utilton.com. That's the letter utilton.com.
Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. We've got what you're looking for. Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. We've got what you're looking for. Tilton Windows, Doors, and more.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Broadcasting live from the Iron Jock Studios. This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee. 97.3 The Game.
Hey, sports fans! Game day is calling, but what about your dog? Skip the guilt and score a win for your pup at Canine Resorts of Brookfield. While you're cheering in the stands or on the couch, your dog's living it up with playtime, pampering, and plenty of tail-wagging fun. From daycare to overnight stays, Canine Resorts of Brookfield treats your four-legged MVP like a champion. Visit canineresorts.com/Brookfield to learn more, because your dog deserves a weekend victory too. Canine Resorts of Brookfield, a 5-star experience where love and fun is included included.
I'm the guy that never gives 5 stars because I never believe that anything is perfect. But I would give them 20 stars if I could.
Ernest Stellar Review belongs to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments. They came through when he badly needed relief for his aching knees, and doctors had told him that surgery was the only option.
What they're doing is cutting edge, and it really helps. And I'm a tough sell.
QC Kinetics is led by National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in this field. With 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing in non-surgical natural pain treatments. These are the medical pros to trust.
I'm living my life basically pain-free from what I was dealing with. So I'm a happy camper today, no doubt about it.
QC Kinetics. Call today to see if you're a candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
When you stay in your home, what you love gets to stay too. From the gardens that grow wild to the grandkids that run wilder. From the Friday night baseball games to the Sunday morning brunches. Even the daily crosswords and weekly book clubs. There's room for it all with help from Home Instead, the largest in-home senior care network with over 30 years of trusted experience delivering the peace of mind you deserve. Visit Home Instead online for a better what's next.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing. Oh, hey, more like Mirajoyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects. Ooh, how does it work? It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
6-5 the final score. Hearts in your throats.
After the last pitch, make the switch to the baseball postgame show.
These guys are rolling.
Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest. On Milwaukee's most listened to sports station.
Wow.
97.3 The Game. We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets. Place your bets.
VSiN every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Touchdown, Wisconsin!
Join us Thursday. The Badgers open the season against the Red Hawks. Our coverage begins at 6.
Looking pressured and sacked.
Milwaukee's home for Wisconsin football. 97.3 The Game. Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
This hour of No BS is brought to you by Screamin' Sicilian Premium Craft Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screamin' is about.
This will hit Thursday night right around 11 o'clock in at the Nitty Gritty and in sections P, O, M, and N. They'll be rocking and rolling and all throughout Camp Randall Stadium. It'll be an electric factory, and you'll be hearing it here on your home for Badgers football on The Game. I'm Billy Schmidt. That's Armin Sari, and it's No BS. And that man hanging out with us here on YouTube X and now on No BS is Badgers starting quarterback Billy Edwards Jr. Billy, I appreciate you doing this, man, on game week. Hey, man, you're 3-4 days away. Now, you've been on the sidelines on the opponent's side. Now, 2022, I can only imagine you kept the jacket on that entire day because it was brutal weather-wise that day. How excited are you to see the 70-plus thousand screaming on the home side coming up on Thursday night?
Yeah, first of all, I appreciate you guys having me, but you just playing that right now got, I just finished the lift. I'm still a little bit sweaty, but I got the chills going up and down my back. So I'm definitely, that 2022 game obviously was a little bit wild of a weather game, but it was still a good crowd and that thing was still jumping. So obviously, like you said, I'm looking forward to it about 11 p.m. Central Time here in a couple of days, getting to hear that and getting to experience that for the first time on the right side. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Is that something that you and the boys had talked about during the there's good off-season cookouts, camaraderie cookouts as you guys are going through workouts and everything. Is that one of the things that you guys always talked about is what the energy is like in that building, or some bigger goals that you guys were discussing?
Both. I think that definitely comes up. You know, when you come up on the 8th floor of our football facility, you'll see on the video board they got some replays of some jump arounds going, and you see Tretch and Vinny Anthony and a bunch of the receivers dancing. So I do give them a hard time about what those dances were, and they're trying to be give me a helping hand and give me some preparation for those things. But yeah, we talk about it a little bit. I think that's probably been the biggest thing for me, right? Just asking some of those guys that have been here, like, like how live is this place? Like when that thing comes on, and Tretch, the Hawaiian boy in him gives me these big eyes, like it's crazy. So we've prepared a little bit, but I think it'll just be the adrenaline flowing once we get to it and it turns on.
You'll enjoy it a lot more on the field, Billy, where we're up on like the 7th and 8th floor up in the press box.
Right.
That son of a gun shakes. I mean, like it rattles to the point where you don't feel very calm. So I'm excited. I might join you guys on the sidelines for that because your boy's a little scared, and that scares me from that perspective. That's a little dangerous in there.
Yeah, it's sort of a ride it out situation for you. More than like the enjoyment factor of it. And hopefully it's going to be a big night. First game, obviously, and it hits more when you've got a big lead going to the 4th. So how important is it to try and get the season off to a big start, Billy?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like you said, I think you don't get too many opportunities for first impressions. And obviously playing a great MAC opponent like Miami of Ohio, we got to come out, with the thing rolling and get started hot. And then obviously, when that song plays, it'll be about finishing strong, finishing the 4th quarter, making sure, we're handling our business. We're taking care of what we got to do so we can be, jumping around and enjoying that song. But it's definitely important. I think a lot of guys are, all our minds are in the right place. I think a lot of us are excited to get out and get an opportunity to showcase this offense against, not just the Badgers defense for the last 8-9 months. But yeah, that's definitely important. Obviously, some of our keys to the week and, will be every game, but definitely for the first game of the season.
This is Billy Edwards Jr., starting quarterback for the Wisconsin Badgers, and you're going to be cheering on number 9 coming up on Thursday night and every Saturday at Camp Randall Stadium. Billy, when we got a chance to talk in the spring at Bucky's locker room, one thing you said I thought resonated with me, and I've been thinking about it for college athletes in today's day and age every single day. You said the most important thing is I always dreamed of playing college football, right? I dreamed of playing in the Big Ten, and I'm not going to let everything else take away from that experience. I'm going to be where my feet are, and this is what I've always wanted to do, so I'm going to enjoy it. How much have you allowed yourself to enjoy it at this point? Because there's so many things. You're being pulled and prodded in so many different directions in today's day and age in college sports, but how important is that for you and, all the guys in that locker room to whatever happens after the year, before the year is behind us, let's be where our feet are and enjoy the next 4 months, because this is why we've worked so hard our entire lives.
Yeah, absolutely. It's honestly kind of the constant internal battle where you're always trying to, for me, I'm big on trying to limit my distractions, get ahead on, external things like tickets or family members, any of the stuff, like obviously right as we get into the season now, that can kind of pull you. But yeah, that's just something that, like you said, always trying to keep myself grounded, remind myself of whether I'm, having a really good day or things can feel a little bit overwhelming. Like I'm, 7-8-year-old Billy would have dreamed to be sitting in this quarterback room right now. So, he would have dreamed to have been playing in a stadium. I grew up watching, a lot of college football. Obviously, my brother being older than me, getting the chance to watch him and seeing some of those big time games and big time environments. Well, now I get a chance to live that. So just being able to maximize that, soak it up, make sure, I'm where my feet are and I'm able to limit some of those outside things as much as possible, because you only get one shot at this. You only get, we're judged on 12 Saturdays of the year. And that's, that's a good and bad thing of the sport, but it really, hits the point home of like, you got to be where your feet are. You got to maximize these opportunities. You only get 5 practices right before a game, and just making sure I'm maximizing all those and staying grounded where my feet are. And one, I think that allows me to maybe enjoy it a little bit more and really soak up the moment. But 2, just being able to stay focused on, what the main task at hand is.
Especially when it's your last year, right? I would imagine that also has a different sense of urgency, knowing like, this is it. This is my last year of college football. There's hopefully bigger and better things beyond this, but this is an experience I'll never have again. And when you're younger, I would imagine, the future's in front of you. It seems so vast, right? But when the time starts counting down, is there a different sense of urgency at that point?
Yes and no. I think, naturally, right? Like I can remember the first day I walked into the indoor facility at Wake Forest and watching Sam Hartman warm up, and he was going into his 4th year and he warmed up and it took him about like 45 minutes. And I was like, what are you doing? He was like, wait till you're my age, man. And so, yeah, it's all gone by fast. And I think that's, obviously we're human. It's natural to think like that. I think the main thing for me is just, obviously knowing it's my last year, there's a little bit more of a sense of urgency, but really just trying to not make it bigger than it is, right? At the end of the day, we're playing football. We're running these same plays we've run since January. I'm getting to play for a team like Wisconsin that, this is my last year. This is where I'm at. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else rather than here and go out a Badger. So really just trying to remind myself of some of those important things and, not try to look too far down, down the road to whatever's in store for me.
Well, I know you guys probably are looking forward to being able to debut those new throwbacks. I liked how Coach unveiled those. I liked you being able to walk in there with the skill guys and be able to show them things off. Let's talk about those skill guys because I'm going to ask you about the boys up front. Armin laughs at me because I want to talk about that right away. But let's talk about the guys outside that you're going to throw to. You mentioned Treach and Vinny last year. I do the post-game show, Billy, and every game I'm like, I think you find a way to get Vinny Anthony the ball like 6 or 7 times a game. Just get the ball in his hands and figure out what happens. You got some really explosive playmakers out there. How much fun is that to know that you're going to be getting the ball into their hands and some pressure to know I got to get them involved maybe a little early to be able to keep ourselves in front of the chains and up on the scoreboard?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I don't think there's any pressure, but if you want to call that, I think it's all good pressure, right? To know that I have all these, explosive players, these playmakers all at my disposal. So really just, as I probably going into my 3rd or 4th year of college, when you start to get reps with the ones and maybe you're, the speed kind of changes a little bit. It turns up on you a little bit. Just in my head, just get these guys the ball and they'll make me look good. They'll do all the hard work. At the end of the day, I just got to get the ball, whether it's a 5-yard throw, a 55-yard throw, whatever it is, just get the ball in their hands, let them do their thing. And then, like you said, we have a lot of, explosive players at our disposal, not only in the wide receiver room, but tight ends, running backs. I feel like we can be very multiple. So really just trying to get the ball in the playmakers' hands and let them do their thing. And I feel like if I can do that, we have enough explosive players and enough explosive, plays and things where we can draw it up and get us in space and we can, keep the chains moving.
Billy, I think a lot of Badgers fans are curious about the identity of the offense. Obviously, you're coming in this year. I think, with Jeff Grimes coming in, some changes, there seems to be a little bit of uncertainty about what the identity of the offense has been and what it can be. What do you think Badgers fans can expect from you and the offense this fall?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if people have heard the scheme statement, but we're going to be a violent attacking offense that imposes its will on opponents through a dominant run game, vertical pass game, and distortion in order to disrupt, disorient, and dictate terms to the defense.
Well, there you go.
So,
I think that sums it up pretty well.
I feel like trying to answer all that questions. I mean, I think, we're at this point in the season now. We're right. Obviously, Coach Grimes got hired in December. Pretty similar, timeline to when me and a lot of the new guys came in. At this point, we're 3 days out. We just gotta, let them see for themselves. But that's our scheme statement. That's what we're going to build our identity on, and we can do that in a multitude of ways and multiple different things. But yeah, that's kind of what I think we're excited for it. I think the fans will be excited for it. But I think now we got a couple more days of preparation, and then we get to go out and cut this thing loose for real.
You quarterbacks are impressive. How long did it take you to learn that statement?
That was my first question. Yeah.
I don't. Shoot,
3 days.
Gave it to us in January. Yeah, a couple days maybe until you just had to get the end of the scheme statement down with all the D words. You had to get it in the right order. And
is that on a shirt? I'd like to buy that if it is.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be. You'll have to find that on the NIL store. All right, final couple of things here with our guy, Billy Edwards Jr., Badgers quarterback. You're going to be seeing him throwing touchdowns coming up Thursday night and then Saturdays and hearing him right here on the game with Matt LePay and Mark Tauscher. Billy, when we got to talk to you in April, I asked Joe Brunner, give me something, right? Give me a little something to mess around. What does Billy do outside of football? He goes, I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think he does anything outside of football. Were you able to have some fun? What did you enjoy throughout the summer here in Madison? Because I know you guys are going through hellish workouts that you actually question how on earth is my body doing some of this stuff. But did you get to enjoy a little bit of it? And what did Billy Edwards think of a Madison summer? Because it's a pretty dang good one.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. Went jet skiing, golfed, fished, ate a lot of good food. I mean, it was definitely, I won. I was in the top 5 of the points for the summer. So that means I did a lot of hanging out with my teammates, but just a lot of golf and stuff. And like you said, enjoying the nice weather, obviously, living right on Lake Winona is a beautiful sight to wake up to. So getting the chance to just walk across the street and fish there a couple times. I definitely, tried to get out a little bit, knowing obviously I'm here for one summer. And this is my last year. So trying to make the most of Madison, because this is, obviously you guys know I'm from Northern Virginia, right outside of DC. This is the furthest west I've been. So again, going back to what we talked about earlier, just trying to maximize it, enjoy the weather, enjoy the, being on the waterfront. And really, that was a lot of fishing, a lot of golfing, a A lot of fellowship, I'll say.
The point system, how are we divvying those out for hanging out with the boys? Because I love that.
That's a great idea.
I think it was like if like I'd go golfing with I did a 2v2 scramble. It was me, Chuck, Preston, Owen Arnett, and you take a selfie. We took a selfie at some point golfing. I think you get like 5 points for being with the boys. Maybe there's some more if you have more people or whatnot, but just little stuff like that. So anytime we were out there, we went fishing. Right behind the waterfront on Lake Mendota and took a picture, did not catch a single fish. We got a bite in like the first 10 seconds and then we didn't get anything for 2 hours. So we just ended up swimming, stuff like that. But yeah, I think it was like 5 points. And then, we went out golfing a couple of times with Coach Guyton and the quarterbacks. I think you get extra points for having some coaches in there. So they did a lot of stuff to promote, the brotherhood and, the fellowship outside of the facility. But that equaled just a lot of fun for a guy like me to go out and get free excuses to golf and fish and run around town.
Yeah, getting points for hanging out, being the hangout guy.
I'd out with the boys, but I also do like Armin. He throws in there. You get extra points for the coaches. If you hang out with the coaches. The coaches got a crowbar in, Billy. Listen, you're talking to a couple of old married guys here, right? So like hanging out with the boys and being able to go out golfing and fishing, that you want to be able to crowbar those in. So shout out to you helping Coach Guyton find a couple of days to be able to hang out with the kids.
Absolutely. We made it easy for him. We went out by his house, so he didn't have to leave the family too long.
I love that, I'm sure. And that's
gotta have an excuse. You gotta have a reason. And hanging out with the starting quarterback, Billy Edwards Jr., and all the boys, and hanging out in the room, try to build some of that camaraderie. Good reason to be able to go. Billy, we appreciate it, man. Can't wait for Thursday night. I know you can as well. It's going to be a phenomenal one. One more message here for Badger fans getting themselves ready for their tailgate cookouts. Billy, you guys came in here on that rain-soaked November day. I don't know that the cookouts were as impressive as you're probably going to see coming up on Thursday leading up to the game. What's your last message to Badger fans before they fire up them grills on Thursday and go to camp?
Buckle up. See you at 8:10.
That is perfect. Appreciate it, Billy.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. See you Thursday.
We'll see you Thursday. That's Billy Edwards Jr., starting quarterback for the Wisconsin Badgers, and an absolute gem.
Yeah, he gets you fired up. I mean, talking to him for a few minutes will get you fired up. Buckle up. I like that. And I'm glad
he fired that mission statement out.
Oh, my goodness. You know me. I love that stuff. I mean, come on. And it kept going.
Instantly.
I'm like, boy, if I could get this on a card and he knocked it out right away.
But if you watch that quarterbacks documentary on Netflix,
yes, I love that. Yeah,
firing out 28 word phrases as a play.
Right. No, I mean, quarterbacks are good at that.
I can only imagine there were a couple of guards and tight ends and wide receivers saying, hold on here. All right, let me figure out. There's got to be a way I can make this easier. He said all those D words.
Listen,
people always thought, oh, no, you just make it an acronym and it's way easier. Now there's 15 of the same letters starting out the words in the back end. That ain't going to help me.
There's no acronym for that. And I think I was picking it up. I was following through like 23% of that thing.
And then I lost
I remember I think he means they're going to run a lot, but I'm not really sure. But we'll see what happens.
Violently
run, which I like. But hey, you know what? And I like that he's taking advantage of the summer. There's only one, you get one chance at the Madison Summer with the breeze rolling through on that moped. Although I don't know, do they still drive mopeds around, Billy?
Not as much in the moped game. I think they're a little bit more into the, pickup truck game. Now, we didn't mention that with Billy this time, but when Mike and I talked to him back in April, he had made mention of the fact that still driving the same car he had in high school.
I love that energy. It's the Aaron Jones energy.
He said, how about we keep this, Mercury Sable?
Let's go.
And run her until it's done, and then we'll enjoy.
Sables and Sebrings and other SEs and sport
He's basically
editions.
Armin Sarian driving around campus right now.
And I got a lot of respect for that. I mean, he's a real one at that point.
I like Derek and Whitewater. Hold on. This guy sounds like he's 40 years old and has a good radio voice.
Oh, yeah, we're cooked. Yeah.
That dude is as mature and dialed in as you can have. And he is an impressive guy to interact with. I've only gotten a chance to in person a couple of times. But when, there's a lot made of today's athlete, these young people will always make jokes about.
Sure, Gen Z and all that.
If there's any question about it, go meet a Billy Edwards and you'll feel a lot better.
Yeah,
go meet Joe Brunner and you'll feel a lot better. Like they are incredibly driven young men. And I loved the question to be able to put into context all of what you have going on today. Yeah. But also, like you mentioned, again, hey, when you were 7 or 8 years old, this is all you thought about playing. This is all you thought about doing. And being able to be where your feet are. It's an easy thing to put on a t-shirt or put on a poster, Armin. It's a harder thing to do when, as he mentioned, you Your entire livelihood, whatever anyone thinks about your all reputation, there's 12 Saturdays. And that's all that you're going to get remembered.
That's a great point. And I think it's easier said than done. He said, try not to overthink the last year thing. I still think that's easier said than done. I think when you know it's your last year, when you can smell the end, you're going to be more urgent to take advantage of every day, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
you know, and one of those things you look back and say, like, man, this is the time to do it. And I love what he said. There's only so many chances. And in this case, there's only one chance to make a first impression with Badger fans, because I think it's going to be so important this year. I think they're obviously a lot of questions about it, a lot of unknowns about what this program can be now. Are they at a crossroads? And it's a great approach to have. This is their first chance to make a first impression on a fan base, on a school, on an institution, on millions of eyes of college football fans and watchers that are kind of curious to see what's going to happen and if Luke Fickell's going to have that breakthrough year. And I think, as much as people think about it, maybe a game like Miami against the Red Hawks a lot goes into that, Billy, because a lot of fans are going to be thinking, what are they going to be thinking? Well, are we dominating this team? How does this team look? Is this what we think should happen?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're used to happening with Wisconsin Badger football. So I think I love the way he put that, because it makes me feel like, okay, he's ready to go for this Thursday. Let's go.
Derek in Watsoma just got a whole hell of a lot of goosebumps when he said buckle up. I think there were a lot of Badger fans that felt that way, because I hear every bit of it. All right. Doing the post-game show, people are saying, it's going to be an interesting year for you on that post-game show, huh?
You heard that a lot.
October's going to be something, huh? Yeah. It's going to be some. These kids all hear it as well. And however, be completely honest with you, they don't know what happened to the 2012 Badgers.
That's not in their
They see
repertoire,
2010, 2011, 2012 as like the Big Ten champions, and they know that they were very close in 2016. Maybe do.
Yeah.
Right? All they care about is what's going on right now. And I think that's the interesting dynamic and shift in today's climate of college sports, where, you know, it really is, what have you done for me lately? It always has been, Armin, but it can actually be emphasized with player acquisition, development, implementation of when you start changing stuff. Like it's a different day and age. We already know that's beating a dead horse, but your ability to rectify your wrongs and right your wrongs, I don't know if you've ever had such an ability in college sports, right? You can quickly pivot off players if it doesn't work. You can quickly say, hold on, all right, now we're cooking with something. This is where we're going to go. They identified a massive problem last year. They're way too small up front. They had one guy that was over 300 pounds on the defensive line. 7 of them sons of guns this year, right? Like, so you can quickly change what you identify as the problem on your team. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work.
Right.
But I think they've taken the steps necessary to put themselves in a much more successful place. Now, we can all define success differently, right? Are they going to go 12-0? I would love to see it.
Yeah. But I probably don't think it's going to happen.
I would probably say no.
Right.
However, you mess around and win one of those games in October that you're not supposed to, and then all of a sudden Ohio State's coming in the middle of October, and that place might be a lot more excited.
And that's the opportunity.
You go out and beat Iowa the week before. The place is going to have a lot more excitement. And their starting quarterback last year ends up getting hurt first series against Alabama. I'm not going to say they're going to win the game. I don't think they were going to get blitzkrieged. What was it, 49-14?
It changed a lot.
2-7.
I mean,
I don't believe that was going to be the outcome. So I'm very excited to see it. And a lot of it is predicated off that young man that we just talked about.
Well, absolutely. And that's where the opportunity changes. You have a lot of fresh starts now. You know, you talk about being able to change a position quickly. That's a good example of a guy that, you know, can write a different story for a program, write a different story for himself. And it can be up to him. And that's the great thing about that.
And
position.
he said,
the opportunities there.
He said, I only got 1 year. And I want to make the most of my time in Madison. I'll say this, John Tonje can call it the same way.
Great example.
You can become a Badger for life.
Yep.
You can become a Badger for life, and people want to find reasons to grab onto great stories at the University of Wisconsin. Hopefully, we're able to see one do it coming up here very, very soon. All right, on the other side, get back to this Milwaukee Brewers squad that is a little bit frustrating at the time. Not going to say we're in any bit of panic mode. Not going to say anybody is jumping and the sky is falling any, but there's some question marks, as well as some questions as to what the Green Bay Packers are going to do with this roster coming up by 5:00 tomorrow. Maybe a little bit of an indication as to one position group's likelihood of making the team because a trade was struck yesterday by Brian Gutekunst and company. We'll fill you in on that with the green and gold and wrap up preseason game number 3 that we watched against the Seattle Seahawks in a dominating fashion by your Green Bay Packers on Saturday. Discuss it coming up. That's Armin Sorry, and I'm Billy Schmidt. Dave Gass produces. No BS statewide on the game.
Just like the prodigal son, I return. Anyone stepping on me, you'll get burned. Cause I got lyrics, but you ain't got none. If you come to battle with...
Oh my goodness, a powerful run to the house. And under duress, and into safety.
The tradition of Badger football lives here.
Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Join us Thursday. The Badgers open the season against the Red Hawks. Our coverage begins at 6.
Looking pressured and sacked.
Milwaukee's home for Wisconsin football.
Which is a good thing for the Badgers.
97.3 The Game.
If you need a new garage door opener system, call Geis. We professionally install LiftMaster's home access solution, featuring a new side mount operator, next generation belt drives with LED lights, cameras, and battery backup, plus video keypads similar to Ring doorbells and MyQ cameras that can be added onto most openers. Great for Amazon home deliveries. And all of our LiftMaster openers are smartphone enabled. Get started at GeisStores.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
GeisStores.com.
When people think sleep apnea, they think CPAP. Now at Advent, we do all we can to help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine. And most sleep apnea sufferers who come to Advent are going to be able to avoid a CPAP altogether. Our unique Advent approach using simple in-office solutions can get your nose working and throat open all under one roof. You see, the root of every snoring and obstructive sleep apnea problem lies within the throat, nose, or both. At Advent, we know when we get the nose and throat working properly, most snoring and sleep apnea problems will subside. And we have the most simple and convenient, ultra-effective in-office solutions that can do just that. And this is why people have traveled by planes, trains, and automobiles from corners of the world you would never think of to find the sleep apnea and snoring relief you won't find elsewhere.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
The Larrabee and LePage podcast.
What is this, year 4, man? Do you believe that? They've asked us back for year 4. No one's more surprised than you or I, but we're first upset of the year. I know you're in shock right now that we're back for a 4th year.
The Larrabee and LePage podcast is presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting. Listen to other episodes available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Brian Butch for Iron Jock Performance Apparel. Summer is coming to an end, but hello football and cooler nights. So let's celebrate with a tremendous Iron Jock offer. Now through Labor Day, September 1st, use promo code Friday Night 35 and you'll get 35% off Iron Jock hoodies, long sleeve tees, jackets, and vests. Perfect for Friday nights watching our Iron Jock guy, Isaac Miller, crush opposing quarterbacks. Code Friday Night 35. And they'll even throw in a free pair of their low-cut socks. Order now, ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
97.3 The Game on Instagram. Exclusive coverage of your favorite teams. Exclusive videos from your favorite game personalities.
I am a follower.
Content you can't get anywhere else. 97.3 The Game on Instagram.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
Alzheimer's disease is the sixth leading cause of death in the country, and it's affecting almost 7 million Americans, including 110,000 people here in Wisconsin. UW-Madison is working hard to improve the lives of those affected, offering resources to educate and the latest in research and technology. The UW Initiative to End Alzheimer's has so many ways you can benefit, learn, get involved, and make a difference. Visit goalsforacure.org. That's goalsforacure.org.
An app for pics, an app for playlists, even the app for scrolling endlessly at 2 a.m. But only one app puts the live radio dial in your pocket, the free iHeartRadio app. Get what millions already have. iHeartRadio, the #1 app for radio.
Milwaukee's best bet is VSiN, the sports betting network, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest every night at 6 on Fox Sports 920. Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Live from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Rima Remodel. This is No BS with Billy and Saria.
I waited for this. I'm so excited.
On The Game.
Here's the snap. Quick throw. Dobbs on the slant. Touchdown! Romeo Dobbs in the north end zone of Lambeau Field. For the first score of the game, they beat Shaquille Griffin on a nifty slant. And the Packers on the board leading 6-0.
As workmanlike of a celebration as it could have been for Romeo Dobbs after catching that Malik Willis touchdown pass to put the Packers up 7-0 at the time, which was nice. Then they ended up going up 17-0 before ultimately finishing off a victory at Lambeau Field on Saturday afternoon. Malik Willis delivered a couple of nice dimes. That capped off a 14-play, 96-yard drive that went over 7+ minutes. And Armin, while you were pushing the buttons here, being the executive producer of the Packers Radio Network, proud of you on that one, buddy.
That's what some people do call me that. Yeah.
I knew that you were fist pumping knowing Romeo Dobbs getting into the end zone.
Loved it.
And also, I was fist pumping for another reason because I think that validated my statement that he's going to more likely to be your #1 receiver than a cut wide receiver. After this training camp concludes and the final cut downs are made tomorrow at 5 p.m. When that was brought up last week by insert blogger site named here.
Sure.
I love that people ran with it. I love that it was enough of an online story to where Kay Adams felt like she had to ask Matt LaFleur about it.
That's the amazing part.
During the interview. And he's like, I don't know where this came from. I don't know what this is. Doing everything we need. Doing everything right. More importantly, have you seen how many healthy wide receivers we have right now? We got like 2, so he's not going anywhere. So quit asking.
I think it comes from this burgeoning and expanding gray area we have between speculation post and source report post, where that gray area used to not exist. But that's a topic for a different J School podcast.
That's a great journalism podcast for you to do.
That's for a different case study. Now, I love seeing Romeo get in the end zone. I also love that they went right back to him after the PI. If you remember, Billy, it was the PI right there. It's like, oh man, Romeo could have had a shot at the touchdown. They're probably going to run one in. It's probably going to be the the Chris Brooks touchdown show or the Amar Johnson. I don't know. Pick Izzy. But it was we're going right back to Romeo. We're going to let him run this little inside dig. Boom, boom, shakalaka, clockwork football, touchdown. I love seeing that to cap off a monster drive.
A huge one. And I'm glad you mentioned the pass interference on the play before, because I thought that was why he throws the ball in disgust. Right? Like, I think I thought he threw the ball because he's like, I was going to do a Lambeau leap on the other side because I'm going to make a sick you got mossed catch. Instead, I got to do just some lame 1-yard slant.
I don't know.
It's not nearly as fun. Throw the ball over and let's enjoy it. A couple of nice handshakes and let's walk off to the field. But they put some things together in that drive. Obviously, without Jordan Love, there's a decent amount of Packers starters played, right? Like, there were only a couple of exemptions, especially on the defensive side. And they were able to
Jacobs got 1 carry.
Yeah. And the defense was able to beat up on Jalen Miller and company. That's what you want to see. You want to see, if you were going up against twos, look like a starting unit. And when Edgerrin Cooper is diving over a running back and then Quay Walker is cleaning up a sack on the first series, they did everything you want to do in that situation.
Everything.
You get a layup opportunity to get some fantastic vibes going into the bye week before you host the Detroit Lions,
right?
And took full advantage. Went on a long scoring drive, got your first round pick, a long catch. Seemed like they might have wanted to try to get him a touchdown.
That was the best, though. They
drew up a beautiful crossers route where he was wide open into the corner, just couldn't deliver the ball. That was about as good as it could have been for the first unit on both sides of the ball on Saturday. And then, whatever ended up happening, and they got out of there in the second half. Everybody decided the second half is done. Let's finish this thing once Bobo and company got hurt on that fair catch.
Yeah.
But that first half was as perfect, I think, as Matt LaFleur would have wanted it to be.
Yeah, which, by the way, that was a scary moment. So I'm glad it was
Very scary,
seemingly not as bad as it could have been. But man, when you see a training staff and a medical staff get in that position that quickly, I mean, it seemed like 10 or 15 of them right away getting ready to go. But that was a scary moment, but glad it didn't seem as bad. Yeah, Billy, I think Wayne and Larry said it best after, I think it was the second drive or maybe after the defensive stand. It was, I've seen enough. Let's get on to Detroit. I think everybody be happy. Okay, we can call it right here. And for all intents and purposes, I think there was one guy that really cared about what was happening still in the second half, and that was Milroe. And I think the rest didn't. I think it was like, we're going to run this clock out. We're going to make this thing happen.
And Milroe was fighting. He was not going out without a fight.
Understandably so. That was his opportunity, Billy. Hunter was telling me, we were back here. Hunter said, man, I feel bad for whoever the third string quarterback is for the Seahawks because he's getting no time right now. Like, he's getting no chance because it was like Milroe or nothing most of the game. So it was what it was, Billy. That was a great tune-up, a great way to get in the positive feels after the first. I'd say the first 6 quarters of Packers preseason football was brutal. Wasn't in that kind of vein. So it was a good way to get going, get started, and get everyone into this little short vacation, not vacation, but short days off, and then getting ready for Detroit week 1, which is going to be difficult. I mean, Detroit is our kryptonite right now in a lot of ways. I think in this little mini era of Dan Campbell and Matt LaFleur football. So at least the last couple of years. So it'd be huge to get a week 1 win against Detroit. Would that change the vibes of this entire thing? I mean, not that they're necessarily bad right now, but I don't know how many people really would expect that. So you're talking about a completely different outlook if you get a week 1 win.
And we're going to hear our conversation with Brenton Cox from Packers OT coming up in call it 7 or 8 minutes. But like that part of it being able to flip on a dime, we joked about it on the postgame show, Armin. We do turning points of the game.
Yes,
is that a Toyota turning point of the game?
Yep, I
said the turning point of the preseason was Anthony Belton getting screamed at by Matt LaFleur.
I think that might have been.
Because then very quickly, the second half of the Indianapolis game and all of Saturday's game were phenomenal. The back half of the 6 quarters were very, very good.
Yeah.
First 6 quarters had you thinking, okay, so they're a minus money to make the playoffs team. Mm-hmm. Are we sure that they're a playoff shoe-in? Are we sure that they're running? But you see they just are so dinged up in spots that feel rather minuscule, right? Like, and even to see, I get it's Jalen Milroe. He's a 3rd-round pick, a rookie. He feels like he is drinking water through a fire hose. Like you could tell that a little bit on Saturday that like he is a talented young man.
A talented, athletic guy. That's the thing, though. You're going to be chasing him around.
You're not going to see a lot of ball carriers as athletic as Jalen Milroe.
Right.
Like, he is phenomenal in that standpoint. Yeah. So to see Javon Bullard be able to track him down in open space and get him to the turf, like I liked being able to see the couple of glimpses from some of their first teamers on defense going up against a guy that's athletic. Again, you're not going up against their number 1 line. And for all reports, it sounded like they got a little bit of theirs on Thursday, and understandably so, they don't play anybody. But just there's a way that it has to look if you're going up against a second unit. And that was exactly what the fans got there at Lambeau Field this past Saturday. And I also got to enjoy something that I'm still very, very upset I did not get a digital asset of.
I was going to say, what a sunsplash day at Lambeau. Maybe that was
it. Was a very much sunsplash day.
That we didn't get that well, actually in Green Bay we did. That was the day of the floods.
Gorgeous day.
Yeah, it was beautiful day.
But instead, Dave Gasper, there's one thing that Armin Sarian really hates at Lambeau.
Oh yeah, what's that?
One thing he really hates during game at Lambeau.
Oh no, the way. No,
I got to enjoy a wave during the first half.
No. The wave actually
for a 4th and 1 play for the Seattle Seahawks. That place was going up. And guess what?
We stopped.
Reported a stop.
We stopped them.
There we go.
Now hold on.
Turnover on downs. You can't tell me the wave did not fire up Tyron Hopper and that Packers defense to be able to get that second quarter stuff.
I'm here to tell you the wave had nothing to do with it. nothing to do with it.
What are you talking about? Jalen Miller was rattled.
That being said,
Lambeau patrons going up at that point?
Nothing. That being said, I'm going to give credit to Hopper and the defense. But that being said, if there is a time to do a wave, this is probably the time. Preseason, family night. I have no problem with it. This is the time to do a wave. If you want to do a wave at spring training, you're good to do the wave. Okay.
Okay. That's
if
what
you want to do the wave at the spring practice at Camp Randall, that's when I'm gonna allow
There's
it.
generally enough people for that.
That's
for spring training waves.
Well, I want to see the wave on Thursday night.
That's when I'm gonna allow. Just like I said, I'm gonna allow it.
That's fair. Yes, gatekeeping. Sorry, and that's fair. Yes, I'm glad you're doing it.
So if you're doing it, that's fine. There's a 4th and 1 in this regular season. Okay, you better not be doing the wave. You better be on your feet, going crazy, going like this, going
fresh
like
out of the 2-minute warning. Balls at the Packer 29-yard line, 4th and 2, and Milroe sacked by Tyron Hopper.
It was a great play.
Mid-wave. Take that.
Don't take that. Don't disrespect Tyron Hopper by giving the wave credit.
I don't know that they were getting that big stuff if it wasn't for the wave and the sea of energy.
I want to make sure
it felt like, honestly, it felt like a tsunami of energy that was hitting
tsunami. Good
that
one.
Seahawk defense
Well
or
done.
Seahawk offense.
I want to make
They
sure
had no chance on that 4th and 2.
I want to be careful when I say I'm going to make sure I say I'm happy for the kids. The kids enjoy the wave.
There were a lot of youngsters at the game on Saturday.
When I was a child, to a certain point until I grew up, I enjoyed the wave. I did. It was really awesome. I want you guys to know that on Brewapalooza.
There was a time and place where you had fun at games.
There was. There used to be a time. I didn't just sit on the edge of my seat watching the game. You know, I was actually
sweat
having
and
fun.
pull your hair out.
Blake, Butch, and I did the wave on Brewapalooza night. I wasn't about to take that moment from him.
Thank God you didn't rob him of that.
I told him what I did. I did like one of one of those. I didn't want him to get.
Did you give a woo?
Yeah, I probably did. I didn't want him to see me.
I'd have been
not enjoying
disappointed
it.
if Armin at least didn't two-hand. Woo! That's all you got to do.
I don't think I got out of my seat, but I probably put the hands up and did a woo.
Like
All
Tim in the show, I'll do the wave anytime I bleeping want to.
And Tim, you had that right.
Tim, that's what I'm talking
And I have the right to tell you that you're wrong for that. So we're even on that regard. Actually, that was the perfect environment for a wave. And that was probably the perfect Lambeau day, especially weather and all that stuff, except for the fact that the win wasn't regular season. You know, I'm just nitpicking. But that was probably, I think we deserved a beautiful weather day
I'll
because
say
we're in fall now, apparently. So
kind of in fall. The only reason why it would not have been perfect for Armin Sarian, Packers in the home whites.
That was interesting.
I don't know that you would have put that on the postcard. Like if you're going to have the Lambeau print, otherwise the skyline the sky was phenomenal. The weather, the sun, a little bit of clouds every once in a while gave you a little bit of reprieve. Otherwise just sun splashed there on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It was Chamber of Commerce.
Commerce.
Yeah, it was. Discover Green Bay might be using Saturday as a reason to say August.
Yeah.
Time to be here.
The white uniforms really quick. Let's not make it a trend, but if it was to help the team, I'd like at least that we have a reason for it, like Lindy and Fonte did in 89.
Yeah.
Because they thought the 2 hot days and you thought Vinny Testaverde was colorblind. You thought that was going to help the team. So they wore
Did it help?
I think they won one of the two, but I don't know if those are what. So normally I want us to be wearing green at home, as long as it's not like a Nike Fanatics thing where they're making us no longer have home uniforms. Then I have a problem. If it's coach decision because he thinks it's going to help the team, at least you have a reason for it.
Do you have a problem with the Thursday night winter
warning? So with winter warning, that's a one-off. I can generally say, all right, winter warning. It was like originally it was in 16 or 17 we did the color rush against the Bears.
Yes,
that was the only time we wore white at home. I think since '89. So
and then last year they had the all whites with the white helmets. The Sunday afternoon with the Texans last year for the winter warning.
Kind of weird, but I understand those are kind of one-offs. But
I think it's going to look sweet at Lambeau for that night game.
Let's not start wearing white uniforms at home like in December and the playoffs and all that stuff. But you're right; it'll look pretty sweet because if everyone wears the white shirt like they're supposed to.
So October 20th is the cut down day for you as to when you can wear the winter warning.
That's a good question. I have to start workshopping that, thinking about it because.
Well, you start cracking that code. You start brainstorming.
Yeah.
and give us your answer.
If
because
it's going to keep us cool in the white unis, I'm happy about it being functional. All right.
I like that.
Form
Functional.
follows function. You know?
It always follows function. When you got a pass rusher getting after the quarterback like Brenton Cox is, it's a good thing for the Green Bay Packers. Brenton Cox joined Packers OT on Saturday. I want to bring you that conversation on the other side because Drew Olson and I had a phenomenal time talking to Brenton Cox, and hopefully you enjoy it as much as we had fun doing it after the win, 20-7 victory for your Green Bay Packers. And Brenton Cox last year on Cutdown Day was not positive he was making the team. You hear from 57 next and tell me you think he's got any trepidation of not being on the 53. It's no BS on the game.
There are a lot of lawyers in Wisconsin, but only the top 5% are awarded the distinction of super lawyer, including 94% of the attorneys in our firm. In fact, 25 of our attorneys were named super lawyers last year, as well as the #1 lawyer in Wisconsin, and 6 more were named rising stars. Not every car accident case requires a super lawyer, but why settle for anything less on your case? Habush, Habush & Rotier, national reputation, hometown service. Visit Habush.com for more information.
This is Packers Monday, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
All right, place your bets. Place your bets.
And the game.
Hey, what's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. If you get injured, it's Nicolay time.
Hey, it's Matt LePay, your friendly play-by-play voice. I know a good team when I see one, and I found a great one in Ridgetop Exteriors. Let's talk about your home for a minute. It's most likely your biggest investment and where you spend most of your time. So my question for you, is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding, and LP Smart Side Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for your home improvement project. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today, online at ridgetopexteriors.com, and consultations are always free. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Hey, sports fans! Game day is calling, but what about your dog? Skip the guilt and score a win for your pup at Canine Resorts of Brookfield. While you're cheering in the stands or on the couch, your dog's living it up with playtime, pampering, and plenty of tail-wagging fun. From daycare to overnight stays, Canine Resorts of Brookfield treats your four-legged MVP like a champion. Visit canineresorts.com/Brookfield to learn more, because your dog deserves a weekend victory too. Canine Resorts of Brookfield, a 5-star experience where love and fun is included.
I'm living the life that I lived before I started having knee pain 10 years ago.
Meet Julie, a woman who makes the most of every moment in life. But over the last years, those moments were filled with agonizing pain until she discovered QC Kinetics.
Finally, the pain got so bad that people around me are like, oh, when are you getting your knee replaced? I was walking, hobbling. I listened to my last QC Kinetics commercial and I said, I'm done. I got to find out about this.
What Julie found out was that QC Kinetics treats pain associated with osteoarthritis with regenerative therapies, taking your body's own healing properties and concentrating them in the areas where you feel pain, helping heal and restore those damaged areas. No harmful steroids, surgery, or downtime.
It changed how I'm living. I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
Get back your life before the pain. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider. A spider! Relax. Just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo, people friendly, bug deadly.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Partly sunny, dry, and much cooler for our high today. Should see around 68 degrees. Overnight tonight, we'll stay clear, drop down to the upper 40s, and from there, another sunny day and high near 70 tomorrow. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by FabTech Expo.
Hey Milwaukee, FabTech hits Chicago September 8th through the 11th, the largest trade show for sheet metal forming and fabricating in North America. 1,700 exhibitors, live demos, and it's free. Register now at fabtechexpo.com.
Eight 877-794-1973. Just heard the worst take of all time from Armin Sarian as we were coming back from break in response to a text line message that we got there. The sound of the wave at Lambeau Field is designed to disorient the other team. I mean, I don't believe that, but I figured it would just be something that sounded good.
And
Listen,
I said the wave doesn't sound like anything.
That's a lie and a half.
Well, there's
you don't
some
hear
noise.
the
Yeah, but it's more of a visual, wouldn't you say?
and the tidal wave of emotion and people getting up and down out of those metal bleachers that make a sound, that rattles the cage, Armin.
What, the ferret cage? Well, what cage does it rattle? It rattles a ferret, maybe, or a chipmunk, or maybe a guinea pig, I guess.
What incredible strays for ferrets everywhere.
Never
Those
had
poor
one.
animals hanging out and listening to us here on the game. They want to hear from Brenton Cox. We got to hear from Brenton Cox Jr. after the game, after he had a couple of sack, couple of TFLs, and he has a big game. Team gets a win, and this is the final preseason game where he has no question if he's going to be on the team. How good does that feel to be at this point this year?
It feels great as a team, as a defense. We've been grinding so long this whole camp, and just to see it unfold today in this preseason game has been great for us.
Was this the best performance by the defense of the preseason, do you think?
Yeah, by far. We got some things to clean up, but I think we all rallied to the ball. We just hitting and running. That was the main thing, just going out there and playing fast and having fun. I think we did good with that.
Playing fast and physical, that's something that Coach Hafley talked about when he first came in. Year 2 with him, for you, year 3, how much more confident this year in the scheme do you feel at this point in camp?
I feel great with the scheme. Hafley has done a great job getting his guys prepared for everything we're about to see. It's been good with him the first year that I had him, being able to get in there and attack and play that attacking style defense that he likes. So it's been great with Hav. Man, I appreciate Hav this whole time, having Hav on my side.
Brenton Cox joining us here on Packers OT with Drew and Billy. All right, we left off the hardest hitting question of the day. What was it like wearing the white jerseys at home? It was supposed to be hot today. It ended up being perfect football weather, but you guys did look different. It looked different to us. How was it playing in the whites?
It was cool. The white jerseys are a lot tighter than the green, so I wasn't prepared for that. But, it was a cool day to wear white at home. That never really happens, but, I was glad to put it on.
Well, 250 looks a lot better than 350 in there. Maybe we asked Stackhouse. It might be a little bit different of an answer. But I can't imagine the heat here in Wisconsin's much of an issue for somebody from Georgia and played in Florida. Brenton, in your development, man, when you have gotten an opportunity, you seized it last year. How much personally do you feel like you're in position for a breakthrough? Because it seems like your opportunity is right in front of you guys starting up in a couple of weeks against the Kitties here at Lambeau.
I just think it all starts with my preparation. Once I prepare for any game, I think I can go out there and wreck it. And, like I said, Hav has been a great key. My new defensive line coach has been a great help, VO, and my teammates. I can't thank them enough. So just getting out there and seizing the opportunity has been the biggest thing for me so far.
Bren, what's it like playing a team on Saturday when you just were scrapping with them on Thursday on the practice field? That got a little testy at times. But today, everything seemed pretty smooth. Did everybody get it out of their system on Ray Nitschke Field on Thursday?
That's the main thing. I think we got a lot of aggressive guys, and when you come into our house, you go feel our aggression. So I definitely think that, we got out of our system to play a clean game today. So that's good.
Brent, we get asked all the time about the tackles for you guys as well with what's going on with left tackle. Iron sharpens iron, so you guys go up against each other for a month at camp. What have you seen from your guys' O-line getting ready for the year? Because it seems like you got a bunch of different guys that can play. They're not just 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's no drop off between any of them. I got to have my A game ready, whether it's one-on-ones or team. All these guys are stout guys, and they're maulers off the ball. So I don't think it's a drop off. That would be a tough decision for whoever has to make it. Anybody but me. But yeah, I like our guys.
Well, 2 weeks from tomorrow, you play one for real. Is this the longest 2 weeks of the year for you when you got to wait to play? You're going to be looking at all the Lions film, and then you got Washington right behind them. What is this period going to be like for you these next 2 weeks?
The preparation is the same. We're getting after it. We got a lot of guys that love to get in the playbook and just talk about schemes and things like that. So I think our team is ready for the first game. We've been preparing this whole camp. So I'm excited.
How excited are you guys, just the edge rusher group, to really let everybody see what you've got cooking up here? Obviously, Lucas Van Ness, a lot of people have talked about Rashawn, really the leader, and then you, JJ, everybody in that group. How excited are you guys to be able to wreak some havoc? Because it's been something that we've talked a lot about, taking to the next level for the defense, is getting quarterbacks onto the ground.
And I think that's something that we've been thinking about this whole offseason. We went to the offseason with a chip on our shoulder to be better, and all our guys came back bigger, stronger, and faster. So I think that's been the main goal this offseason, seeing how we can get to the quarterback even faster, and we're helping each other. We're scheming it up. We're communicating more. So it's going to be exciting for us this year. I'm ready to see it.
I think Billy and I both kind of shot up in our seats when the Edgerrin Cooper, Quay Walker tag team on the blitz. That play worked. That's one that we'd like to see a lot this year. I'm sure you would concur, right, Brenton?
Oh, for sure. I love seeing Quay and Coop fly through the line of scrimmage. That's something that we always rave about in practice on film, just seeing how fast those guys move. And, they starting to take a lot of the QB hits and sacks from the DN. So that's good. But I love seeing those guys fly around and make plays.
It's always fun, and then you can let everybody else hear about it. Brenton, there was obviously some conversating. There was some back and forth against these guys on Thursday, and there were some really good quotes being exchanged from your defense. Who's the best stuff talker on the defense so far?
It got to be Keyshawn Nixon. He has to be the best. It's just nonstop. I don't know if that comes with playing cornerback, because all of them pretty much the same. But they talk good trash over there in the DB room.
As much as they got to run, I don't know how you even have time and energy.
The big guys got to catch their breath. They don't have time for that. Let the play do the talking.
That just goes to show you how much they love to talk. So
that's it. Brenton, we love talking to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks,
Enjoy
man.
the weekend, and I would hope to hopefully talk to you again down the line.
I appreciate you guys for having me, man. I hope I could be on the show again one day. Appreciate it.
Done deal.
Yes.
Done deal. Thanks, Brenton. Thank you, Brenton. You can absolutely be on the radio show again whenever you'd like.
I hope
Call.
I hope we hang out. Well, just answer my text. All right. Yes. We will.
I hang up with the DMs. Nothing got through on IG. Nothing came through on IG. Thanks to Brenton Cox for hanging out with us on Packers OT.
So good.
And hopefully he does hang out with us on No BS. Hopefully you hang out with us coming up for hour number 3. It starts up with a Doug Russell update. We got a parlay of the day, more Brewers and Packers conversation, and answering a question about the starting lineup for the Wisconsin Badgers coming up on Thursday. A lot more in hour 3 next.
Message marked urgent.
We're here for you now on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line at 1-877-794-1973.
Grab the contest rules for 97.3 The Game at thegamemke.com.
Hey, it's Armin, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97.3 The Game broadcast studio built by Rima Remodel. It's been a game changer, all thanks to the Rima Remodel team. RIEMER remodel.com.
KB here. Summer is the greatest thing since sliced pizza, and you deserve both with Pep's Draft House and the Summer of Pizza. When hunger hits, Pep's Draft House pizzas are sure to hit the spot. So grab a cold brew and a Pep's Pizza at your local grocer and chill out. It's summer. Eat pizza with Pep's Draft House.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Does your business need new garage doors? At Geis, we partner with CHI Overhead Doors to install top quality materials engineered by industry leaders to ensure that each of our commercial door installs are long-lasting and hassle-free. Call us to get a quote and schedule your new CHI Overhead Doors commercial installation. 262-784-4250 or online at geisstores.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
For CHI Overhead Doors for your business.
And have a party on the patio. Tailgate like a champion at the Bart Star Plaza Tailgate Party, presented by Pelkin Smoky Meat Market.
Beers, fun, drinks, burgers, dogs.
Right next to Lambeau, enjoy 3 fantastic tailgate options, each offering a unique blend of delicious food, refreshing drinks, and top-notch entertainment. Tailgates kick off 3.5 hours before every home game.
Come to the game. Tailgate.
Reserve your spot now at reshcomplex.com. Live from Milwaukee and heard on the iHeart app by fans everywhere. We are WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game.
Number 1 for sports and stuff.
How far is too far? In the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee, that's up to you. Powered by a new 1.6-liter Turbo 4 engine, it's the iconic SUV, reimagined to put today's adventures and tomorrow's dreams in reach. So go ahead. Keep the good times going. The all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Lowe's has the Labor Day deals you need to give your home a new look. Buy one, get one free select interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Then add the final touch with 2 for $8 on select 2.5 or 3-quart mums. Refresh your home and save big while doing it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Mums offer in-store only. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowes.com/rebates for details.
Most people in radio commercials talk really fast. But we made this one for RV owners. Progressive knows they like the slower pace of RV life, like this commercial. And they know Progressive will protect their RV at a fair price with discounts. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference. Now's your chance to say thank you in a big way. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding teacher in your life to be among the winners of $5,000 to stock their classroom at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
You can't be stopped with Unstoppable's laundry scent boosters because they give your clothes 24-hour nonstop freshness. So even on your longest nonstop days, you'll be confident in smelling fresh all day long. Try now for as low as $5 and smell unstoppable.
Make 97.3 The Game your number 1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
There is no BS with Screamin' Sicilian Premium Crab Frozen Pizza. Find it in your local grocer's freezer and taste what all the screaming is about. Drop it.
He's very knowledgeable, very intelligent guy, very personable guy.
Here's Doug Russell.
Well, the Brewers put themselves in a good position for a series win on Sunday.
I got a call about 4 months ago.
That's got a chance.
Caleb Durbin. And the Brewers grab the lead. Caleb Durbin knocks one out of here. And he makes it 3-2 Milwaukee.
So BA on the call, but can I also give George Brett a credit on that too?
Yeah, take that, Tim Allen, asking why George Brett was there. He's obviously a huge fan of Caleb Durbin. He totally knew who Caleb Durbin was when he said, hey, so can I ask you a question? Why did they close the roof? Because all of a sudden then our guy hit a home run. I mean, like, Tim was wondering why George Brett was a part of it yesterday. George Brett can go wherever he wants.
Yeah, he's George Brett.
George Brett doesn't go anywhere. It
If you have
seems like
HOF after your name.
it kind of sounds like George Brett goes to golf course, beach, tiki bar. Like from like the way that I was getting the reaction yesterday, they're like getting George Brett to do anything that's not hanging out is a pretty much a good feat right now because he likes to just chill out and enjoy being George
Stockton and
Brett.
Hosner got it on their podcast.
Oh, I bet it's fun.
It's so good.
I bet it was phenomenal. He was really good yesterday. Listen, as somebody that did not see George Brett play as a youngster, I did not see George Brett play.
Yeah.
I want to figure out more about George Brett because he sounded phenomenal right there.
He was so good. He was a red ass old school. He tells a great story of.
I've seen him almost beat the hell out of that umpire.
You just saw that highlight over and over, the Pine Tar highlight.
Yes.
He was a great
Incident.
player. He was a great player.
Well, the Pine Tar incident was great because they appealed it. So Billy Martin, who was a red ass in and of itself,
Of course,
he was tipped off that the Pine Tar was too long. So he had it in his back pocket that he was going to pull this out whenever he needed to. So then he did
Just
that.
wait till he hits a bomb.
And yeah, really, in the ninth inning off of Goose Gossage. And then Brett was like, I think they're going to call me out. I think he was talking to Frank White. I think they're going to call me out. If they call me out,
I'm going nuts.
I'm going to go nuts. I'm just going to go nuts.
That's one of my favorite highlights of all time.
And he was prepped for it. So when they called him out, he went
ballistic.
Poo. And so they had to bring everybody back after it was appealed to the. So they did have a commissioner at the time. Bowie Kuhn was the commissioner at the time, but Lee McPhail was the American League president. And that's how you appealed it to. You didn't do it to the commissioner of baseball. You did it to the American League president when that was a thing.
League presidents. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So Lee McPhail said, yeah, Billy, what are you doing? The home run counts. And everybody had to come back to play the ninth inning as a standalone, not a part of a doubleheader.
Right.
As a standalone on an off day, they had to cart everybody back and play the ninth inning. They had Ron Guidry in the outfield for crying out loud.
They used to
elite story that I'm just learning the entire backstory. That's awesome.
Royals and the Yankees would really go at it for a portion of years back then. I mean, they were seeing each other in the
They hated
playoffs
each
a
other.
lot.
Because Royals were legit at this time.
They were
correct?
legit. They won the West
yeah.
a lot, and then they would the Yankees would win those series in the playoffs, and they would get in a fight like every game in the playoffs, like a legit brawl. Like, it was really weird.
Because I want to say it was last year Royals and Yankees played in the divisional series, and you got to see like a little bit and hear some more of the backstory of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a legit rivalry. That's awesome.
Definitely, and part of it was played into because George Steinbrenner used to fire his manager every
that
twice
was the
a
Billy
year.
Martin stuff. Yeah, he
Well, it was
fired him
Billy
4
Martin.
times.
It was Bob Lemon. It was Gene Michael. It was, one after another after another.
Sure.
Dick Hauser was one of his managers, one of George Steinbrenner's managers. Fired him after, I think it was the 78 season. And then the Royals immediately hired him, and that played into it as well.
Oh, that adds to it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, I don't think Aaron Boone's got to worry. I don't think he's getting the Royals job.
No, I mean, Joe
but I
Torre.
think he's definitely getting gas at the end of the year.
He's
got to.
Joe
It seems
Torre,
like he's
Joe
got to.
Girardi, now Aaron Boone. I mean, there's been so much stability, but it was just chaos
All
in the
over
70s and
I was
80s.
going to say, so firing the manager skips a generation.
Yes.
Because Hal does not have that, that in him.
Not at all.
It wasn't
or the
just-
general manager for that matter. He's Cashman's
Or
been there for
Cashman.
30 years.
He
almost.
hired and rehired Billy Martin 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And the thing was,
Yeah, he
every
recycled
day-
him all the
every
time. Michael,
day
too.
he threatened it, or there was speculation that he was going to fire him. So if you have never watched the ESPN's The Bronx is Burning, it's very entertaining.
It was bonkers how that organization was run.
That's fun.
Anyway,
but they would win.
So that's the George Brett story. Wasn't meant to be. Trevor McGill's post All-Star game struggles continue. He loads the bases for Elliot Ramos, knocks 2 home. The final score 4-3. The Giants win the game of the series. The first back-to-back series losses for Milwaukee in about 2.5 months.
We're not trending in the right direction. We got to let young guys, and what I mostly have to help them realize is this is a tough game. And if you're going to play like we've played to win, you've got to somehow dig down and play that way with that mentality every day. And it's really, really hard because it's just there's so many games. It's such a grind.
I don't know if you've heard this, fellas, but there's a saying that this baseball season is not a sprint, but rather a marathon. I don't know if you've heard that at all.
Once or twice, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
And the way that because there's a lot there, because to your point, Doug, that would always fly in the face of Murph's win tonight. Worry about winning. The only game that you can win is tonight. And that you do have to forecast how you're going to build and be able to compete in the next couple of days. I like, though, that he mentions, I need to help educate them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not I need to tell these guys what to do.
Yeah.
Because
Just
at some
educate
point, that does not work.
No.
Especially when you're the guy and the drill sergeant going every single day. That's where, from that lens and even just that word being tweaked, I think that's a payoff of what you saw in the beginning of the year. Like, I don't think he was saying, I need to tell Sal Frelick that he messed up here. What he needs to do. But I got to educate him as to, hey, brother, this is why we can't round third base as hard as you did, because I know you were trying to make a play.
Aggressive play.
Be a little bit aggressive and get into the mind of somebody, but then you get yourself thrown out when we would have had a runner at third with one out. So, like, you learn some of those lessons, but it's not just me saying, this is what you're going to do and I'm going to tell you to do it. There's got to be an education process, because otherwise you don't understand why it is stressed as much and why it's so important to be able to do.
100% right. Making matters worse, the Cubs won again, 4-3 over the Angels. Lead is down to 5. And of course, as everybody's been talking about, the in-stadium memorial held for Bob before the game. I want to play this one cut from Robin Yount. He probably now takes the mantle of the most beloved Milwaukee Brewers ambassador.
Yeah.
And he was friends with Bob Uecker for more than 50 years.
I met Uke in 1974, up until he passed in 2025. He was the same person through all the things he accomplished. He never changed throughout all those years. He just loved making people laugh. Right to the end, he told me he wasn't afraid of dying. He just didn't want to be there when it happened.
Which is a great line.
Only Bob can deliver, and only his mind thought that. It's amazing. He had many gifts, and one of those was to think of ways to make people laugh. Well said by Robin.
Yeah. And so, but they're such different personalities, though, too.
No
Great
doubt.
point. They really are. One's gregarious and outgoing, and Robin is, his own guy, and he's
he
a great
stealed
guy,
the show
but
though yesterday.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I thought the microphone bit, I thought that was hilarious, because you could tell it was just to say, hey man, I'm going to cry at some point. I'm going to try to prolong it as long as possible by doing some corny joke to start, right? Like just to be able to give yourself a little bit of a buffer,
comic relief. Yeah.
And then when he says the prayers up to him, I'll miss you, man. Like, you could tell it was the last words he was getting out before he was breaking down. And that was phenomenal to see. The same inning and a half that George Brett was in the broadcast booth. Somebody said, what do you think of when you come to Milwaukee? Or are we going to see you here a whole lot more? He goes, listen, we love Milwaukee. Probably not going to see me a whole lot in the winters, but I love Milwaukee. We're going to be back as long as possible. Robin, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You don't have to see another January Wisconsin day.
Yeah.
February, probably not. Now, maybe if we move FanFest back in.
Sure.
Which we could do the On Deck event again.
That would be great.
I would like us to do Brewers On Deck again.
What happened to that? Yeah.
Well, COVID happened.
COVID happened.
I know, but
we decided to never have it again.
It was not a moneymaker. It was never intended to be a moneymaker.
No, it's supposed to be a fan camaraderie excitement event.
Oh.
Well, you know,
marketing event. So we get Brewers On Deck back.
Yeah,
we'll
let's do
fly
that.
you in for that day, Robin. We can get your first thing smoking out on March Jet back into Arizona Heat. But as long as we get to see him at one of these games every year, he does. You're right. He's the most beloved Brewers ambassador right now.
Good way to put it.
And anytime that he can have his fingerprints around this young team, listen, they might not know how much of a little bit of anything about him, but it's a great educator to have, because there's not a better steward, I think, for the organization, for somebody that just embodied the hardworking blue collar mindset that Milwaukeeans love to see from their ball team.
I would say if there's any player, and you're right, certainly there are players that don't know what Robin Yount means to the organization.
Mm-hmm. They know he played baseball. They know he's a
Right.
Hall of Famer, all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's like, have you heard of what I would say is, have you heard of Cooperstown?
Yep. Sure.
Because that's where ultimately every player dreams of getting.
Yep.
He's there.
He's there.
Got there on the first ballot. Spent his whole career here. never lived here.
Yep.
Ever lived here. Oh, he's lived in the same house in Arizona for over 40 years. But because he played here his entire career, 2 MVPs, had to have a position switch midway through his career, 3,000 hits, of course.
Yep.
Number retired, statue out front. I mean, and they always say, be careful when you meet your heroes. And that was my guy growing up. I mean, Robin Yount was, there was almost like sides that were divided up. It's like, are you a Molitor guy? Or are you a Yount guy? I was always a Yount guy. Nothing against Paul, but I was just always a Yount guy for whatever reason. And I obviously have had the chance to meet him on many occasions. I don't know him, but I have met him on several occasions. Never disappointed me. Not once ever.
And that is one guy that you never hear somebody say they had a bad encounter with, right? Like a chance encounter. His uncle had a chance encounter with him at the hospital. One of his children were being born, and he was there as well. And same deal, like stressful time for everybody, and everybody's cool. Like it's just he's one of those cats. And when you do see a team that. One of the other things that you mentioned, Cooperstown, you mentioned the statue out front. He's the only old timer that you walk through the team store and you still see 19 jerseys.
That's right.
That's true.
He's the one.
That's true.
The only one that you still see, people are buying them.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're not hanging there in the pro shop for nothing because people still are getting one, even if they're like me and never saw him play.
And it made a difference and through no fault of his own. And I had no problem with it. But Paul went to play for 2 other teams. Robin Yount played in one uniform. Which, even though Paul Molitor is always going to be remembered as a Brewer and goes into Cooperstown with the Brewers hat, it's just a little bit different than Paul because Robin played in one uniform.
Well,
forever,
we can relitigate the whole Paul Molitor getting booed when he was a member of the.
Yeah, which you still tell me I don't know that really, but I'm going to trust you because you were there, and I don't think I was. So I thought I didn't remember that he got booed. I don't know. I thought he got cheers.
People were salty, but it wasn't his fault. I mean, he got put it this way: if somebody said, if your contract is up, we're going to pay you twice what this other team is going to pay you.
Yeah,
and they are trying to cut your salary and trying to disrespect one of your all-time greats, which is what the Brewers did.
Yeah,
now this was a generation, this 2 generations ago. So
I would never fault him.
Statute of limitations, if you will.
Yeah.
But that's am I going to make double the money and feel respected with a team that I think is going to compete, or am I going to get disrespected by the team that I've is perhaps taking me for granted that I don't think is going to compete.
Right.
Easy choice.
It would be like if the Brewers, when Council was going through the negotiations, when it's like, oh, sweet, you're going to make $8 million here, but actually we're going to lower your contract.
Yeah.
we're going to actually need some of that money back. He's like, wait, I'm not getting double my salary here. Because I think he got almost 3 or 4 times what he got and was getting there. So, 100%.
Yeah. So, people have come around on Paul Molitor, but it took a minute. There's still no statue outside of American Family Field for Paul Molitor. There should be.
Yeah,
it's interesting. I agree. I didn't know that people had to come around. You're right. I guess I was younger, so it's hard for me to really have a good perspective.
Yeah, and with the cheers and the boos for when he came back, you had Willie Adames coming back, and first AB, it's all cheers. Yay, Willie Adames, happy to see you. 90-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle, hits it to the second deck, and everyone. By the time he hit second base, boom!
Of course. And that's kind of what you do, right?
There's also a different time. It is a different time here where I think you have a different feeling and understanding as to the human beings in the jerseys,
absolutely,
right? Like if people would have that understanding at that point, a lot more people would have been pissed. We're not that we're more knowing of the situation.
I think you're right.
I think we're more aware as to what happens. Yes, they've been aware of the ownership and the team.
You're totally right. I think people are in some ways more informed, or at least are more aware of those type of things than they were in the past.
It's like you're only a designated hitter. You don't even play in the field anymore. Why are we giving you all this money? But in Sal Bando, they both collectively they were lowballed him. I think it was more Bud than anybody. To be honest with him, there's no baseball without Bud in Milwaukee. So. He holds that, but he lowballed one of his all-time great superstars.
He said he had to pick one guy, and Robin or Paul to give the money to. That was the story back then, I think, right? And they did what they did, and Paul went on to win a World Series and be I think second in MVP voting the next year.
Yeah,
he hit
it's a tough deal.
He's a monster year. And listen, I don't remember anybody not cheering for him with the Blue Jays, but I could be wrong. I was 9 years old, so maybe I was.
Well, it's
maybe my perspective was different. Yeah,
100%. It always does change, and in due time, you would have thought maybe there'd be a statue up there, but that's surprising. What else did you think of the entire ceremony there yesterday, Dougie? You were in-house, got a chance to watch it as well. He said that you were going to record it. What'd you think? I thought the redoing of his name on the top of the stadium. Nice. I thought that was cool. I actually like the microphone. Timmy was like, he still wants 54 to be retired. He likes that for like the 54 years.
Sure.
I like the microphone more than the 50 plus years of service and the different color of his name up there.
I don't think you need a number for Bob because he never played for the Brewers.
Sure.
And so you see Euchre numbers, like the numbers that he wore with the Braves. You see like Euchre number 9, for example, or Euchre number 8 with, made up jerseys.
I've seen a lot of zeros too.
Yep.
Because he's the broadcaster. So people make up their own jerseys.
But the 50 never, the 50 was like, 50 years in baseball. It wasn't even 50 years as a broadcaster. They just slapped a 50 up on the
50
wall.
years in baseball. That's what it
so
was,
the 50 doesn't make any sense. So they had to do something. So the microphone makes sense. That's what they did for Vin Scully, for example, in Los Angeles, because he doesn't have a number either. I thought the whole thing was really, really well done. They brought back just about everyone. They had some remembrances on the Jumbotron in between innings of some of his former co-stars. Monty from Major League was there. Dynamite dropping, Monty.
Those were good.
That was really cool.
I got to meet the Belvedere kids.
I like that.
For me, that was
That's
cool.
a winner.
I met Tracy and Bryce yesterday. So for my childhood, that was kind of
Did they end up cutting
moment.
promos themselves, or did Nicole end up interviewing everybody in-house during the breaks?
They were with Nicole.
Okay.
So Tracy, who played Heather, told the story of when she turned 16, and this was on the Jumbotron in between innings, that Dave knows where I'm going with this.
Yep.
So she's telling the story on the Jumbotron in front of 43,000 people. And on her 16th birthday, she walks into the Belvedere set and she thinks that there's all these balloons that are blown up that Bob left, on the set and everything. For her birthday. And it turns out they were condoms.
That's okay. You know what? She thought they were balloons.
Nicole's face.
The look on Nicole's face was like, oh, well, I wasn't ready for that. Bryce, do you have a remembrance?
It's so funny. It is, but I get what. I know the position she's in. You know what I mean? In that moment. And it's like, all right.
The look on Nicole's face.
The bad thing is I'm going right back to the set. All of a sudden you're like, oh, sweet balloon. Why is this thing sticky?
Why is there a reservoir? My God.
Yes. Oh man,
God, that's a great bit.
Yeah,
that's a great gag.
But you know what? These are funny stories.
Can't tell you I didn't.
What Bob was about. It's funny things.
And I've definitely given somebody the balloon present once before as a joke. So I'm glad that that was a tale as old as time. That is phenomenal.
Every game at Camp Randall. Not every game, but every once in a while you'll see one.
Game.
Is it every game? Yeah, you'll see one floating above. The press box.
You'll see the condom balloon floating through Camp Randall Stadium definitely on Thursday night. Also, my favorite jersey, which is the 0 Days Sober.
Yeah,
that's one.
That's generally my favorite one. That's always but that's a Camp Randall staple.
Oh,
wow.
Just
good job, Nicole. Way to keep the train on the tracks.
She does a great job. We know that. So she does a great job. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Dougie, always appreciate it, man. One other piece of some news here that has come out over the last 20 minutes or so. Terry McLaurin. I don't necessarily know that it's all that important enough, but
maybe in Washington.
Yeah, it is in Washington for them. They get a deal done with Terry McLaurin. He reaches a 3-year contract extension, ends his hold-in situation. He'll stay with the Commanders. It's reportedly $96 million.
Okay.
He had been in a hot dispute that he wanted $30 million, and it was going to be, I need to get $30 million. We still have not gotten the for sure amount of guaranteed money. Not 96 million guaranteed. So I'm excited to see how much he actually gets guaranteed.
It's like funny money. You never know what these contracts are really worth when they first come out, but it's something he's happy with, I'm sure. So
but his pocket is a lot fatter than it was before. So
it's going to be.
It's one of the weird ones as to though, when it gets done and the balancing act of, listen, Terry McLaurin's happy. Pocket's fat. Don't have to go to camp. That's a win-win from my side. And for the team, it's a balancing act of like, we know we're going to give you the money. We want to be able to maybe hold some shekels on a certain amount of dollars and cents and when we guarantee the cash. But then it's a yin and yang of this man's not on the field for 5 weeks with your second-year quarterback who was all-world last year.
If you know you're going to sign him,
what are we winning and what are we losing?
I'm with you. I think you just get it done early because what did that help you now that you put off the signing? I mean, except for the organization standpoint. I get where it helps the player because he can miss camp. You know what I mean?
He gets 5 weeks off. Sounds good to me.
And now it makes you think about the other guys that are still out there. Just floating, waiting for their deal and things like that.
Yeah, it has me thinking about the guy that was taking a nap on the sidelines.
Yeah.
That was Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Like, are you going to sign him or not? And if you're not, like, what's happening?
Well, Brian Schottenheimer said he's going to be on the team. He's going to be out there week 1. Are you sure? You play in 9 days.
Well, you have to consult your general manager, who's how old is Jerry now?
84.
Okay.
Oh, it feels older than that.
Might be older than that. Dougie, you got to see the Cowboys documentary. I've only seen one episode of
82.
it.
Wow, he's younger.
Wow. It is.
What?
It is a gem.
What's it on?
Netflix.
Oh.
I saw someone say it's the last dance of football. Is that true?
It kind of is.
Okay.
Wow.
When Jerry Jones cuts the promo of when he bought the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this is again, young man, I did not see the Dallas Cowboy dynasty. When he talks about put that oil rig into the ground and we drilled and we drilled and we drilled. And then I bought the Dallas Cowboys. He is a pretty impressive storyteller. And you want to see somebody add drama to a story? Jerry Jones had some drama.
Well, they hated him because the first thing they did was fire Tom Landry, who had been their only coach.
Talks about it.
And
he's excited.
There was on TV, Tom Landry's packing up his office.
Yeah.
It was the most, from what people say, is the most embarrassing finish.
First act is the owner.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
We're going to make some changes.
Only coach of the Cowboys, right? Only coach that they'd ever had.
Yep.
Get out of here. You got to get out of here first thing we're doing. It is an incredible story if you are trying to find out, because I did not realize that they were as publicly against each other at press conferences.
Oh yeah,
as they're sitting next to each other, like, do you guys like each other? What? What? Oh, we're at the Super Bowl. I think we like each other a decent amount.
Yeah.
It works out. So Jerry Jones, he is not changing. This Micah Parsons deal feels like it might be a little bit different.
Maybe you're probably right, and. I go back and I look at a guy like Dak Prescott, and maybe it was because quarterback position is if you've got one, you lock him up now. But when Dak Prescott, they dragged that out number one, and then
twice,
but Dak, who's had some great moments. I don't want to take anything away from him. He's had some incredible moments. They just haven't been all that consistent all the time in his moments, and they haven't had any postseason success. And then he still gave all that money to Dak.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're right there on the precipice. It's a good team. The Cowboys are a good team. They fail when January rolls around for whatever reason.
But they
are a good team.
And if you think all these decisions are just based on pragmatism and business and being
Jerry,
you don't think there's ego involved? There's a lot of ego involved.
It's ego involved, and it's becoming more and more clear. Some of this has to do with he likes being front and center on First Take during the build up to the NFL season.
It's personal. I want to be the center of attention. Absolutely.
He's the only owner that does post-game media avail
before the coach
and a weekly radio
right outside of the coach's interview.
Yeah.
Can we get Jerry Jones a podium?
No,
Instead, we get the microphones in front. Well, I am very disappointed with how he played today, and this one's going to hurt. He says that loss to the Packers.
I did see that clip.
Hurt the Cowboys more than any loss ever.
More than the Ice Bowl, which is interesting.
Worst loss ever.
Wow.
I mean, you go back and listen to Don Meredith talk about the Ice Bowl.
Sure, he didn't want to play after that. He's like, he wanted to quit playing. He's like, I can't take this anymore. Jerry West.
It is. It's very, very good.
All right, I'm going to go home and watch that today.
You'll enjoy it. Also, Jerry Jones is. The NFL is lucky to have Jerry Jones. I don't know that us as sports fans are lucky to have the coverage of the Dallas Cowboys, but the NFL has made a lot of money off that man.
Oh yeah, he's
made a lot of money on the Dallas Cowboys. He's made a lot of money off the NFL, no doubt about it.
He's made a lot of money for the other owners too.
Yes, has made a lot of money directly because of that guy.
It's the most valuable franchise in all sports, and the tide lifts all boats. There's no doubt
for
about
a team that hasn't won squat in 30 years.
And that's not in New York. Let's be honest.
And that's not in New York.
Right, it's impressive. I mean,
or Los Angeles, or Chicago.
The brand, I believe, is more valuable than the Yankees, which I bet most people would not think that. Right? Think that the Yankees are the most valuable brand in sports. Maybe you start looking at, international soccer teams, but it's pretty impressive.
Oh, Cowboys blows it out.
Yeah, it does.
Manchester United and they haven't won squat in 15 years either.
But it's a brand, right?
But it's a brand, and it's such a valuable brand as well. Stadium plays into that. But you look at when Jerry World opened, it was like, oh my God, there's nothing else like this in the world. Now there is.
Yeah, now there's 7 or 8 stadiums that are maybe better.
Yeah,
and I know Billy loves this topic. It's the most valuable franchise that hasn't been rated by private equity yet. Maybe that comes one day. That'll happen, right?
Private equity.
One day,
I think so.
Well, maybe not. Maybe they'll want to keep it in the family forever. Maybe
you watch this and you hear why.
Yeah,
he buys the Cowboys and basically walks up to his kids and says, "Hey, by the way, new job.
This is our life.
Congratulations. Here's your life.
Yeah.
This is us. We are the Dallas Cowboys now." And like the Stephen Jones I think he's a good evaluator. He's kind of been running the team a decent amount. Now, they might want him running the negotiations with Micah Parsons instead of his dad. But he basically said, listen, we bought this, so we have the Dallas Cowboys. I wanted to buy a job. I bought a career.
He did.
And I've enjoyed every second.
Most owners buy the team and then just kind of, hey, I just want to sit here in the owner's box. But that's not what the plan ever was.
Jerry Jones said fantasy football, this is real life.
Yeah.
And this is my own fantasy team. And we are the Dallas Cowboys. Armin, you're going to love it. I'm excited for you to be able to watch.
Once I'm done with quarterback, I'll watch that next. And once I'm done with watching all the other stuff I got to watch. No, I will watch
You do have a long list.
Well, it's my own fault. I got to get to it. But quarterback is still not done yet. And then I'll watch that. Yeah.
Well, listen, we are not done yet. We have had way too much fun here with Doug Russell because we missed you at 10 o'clock when we were talking to Billy Edwards, quarterback of the Wisconsin Badgers. We appreciate and sorry we kept you so long here.
Oh, good. No,
that was phenomenal.
Thanks, brother.
Dougie, we'll talk to you tomorrow, man.
Thanks,
Hey, boys.
There he is, Doug Russell, Love Muscle, hanging out with us here on No BS. We'll go to the Potawatomi Sportsbook and fire in a parlay of the day on the other side. Brewers and Diamondbacks tonight might be the spot that we go to, or maybe we shake things up a little bit because the Brewers need a little change of energy, and maybe we do on the parlay of the day because 1-0 for last week. 1-0 for last week, and that's just unacceptable for how good we have been at the parlay of the day. So we might need to shake some things up coming up next on the game.
Because I wanna be a cowboy, baby, with a top left back and the sunshine shining. Cowboy, baby, West Coast chillin' with the boom. I wanna be a cowboy, baby.
Let's go! Packers Monday is sponsored by Habish, and Rotier and Tri-City National Bank.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. A weekend full of superstar performances. And keep listening for the next chance to win your way there.
Get your laundry Vegas ready with Arm & Hammer Power Sheets. Just toss in a detergent sheet. No drips, no plastic jugs, no mess. Arm & Hammer is a proud sponsor of the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Clean up before you turn up. Shop Arm & Hammer Power Sheets now.
If you're a fan of our Wisconsin sports teams, here's the perfect podcast for you. The Larrivee and LePay podcast with two Hall of Fame broadcasters. Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, and Matt LePay, the voice of Wisconsin Badgers football and men's basketball. Together, bringing you insights and guests, talking Packers, Badgers, Brewers, Bucks, and more. The Larrivee and LePay podcast is presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting. Listen to other episodes available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Water running back to your foundation due to settling concrete can lead to extremely expensive foundation repairs, even mold and bacteria in your home. MudTech
262-337-0934.
Call MudTech for a free estimate today.
Jason, what are you singing?
Working on a new jingle to promote Capital's $49 drain clearing. When your sink fills up with gunk, don't stress, don't whine. It's only $49.
Don't take this the wrong way, man, but I'd stick to plumbing, heating, and cooling if I were you.
That's fair, but people need to know that we clear clogs for only $49.
Fine, but I would have rhymed gunk with junk. It's so obvious.
Call CapitalCares.com.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Get the comfort and support with a new mattress from Serta. Find the perfect mattress for a deep and restorative night's sleep. Take control of your sleep and save big money on Serta mattresses now at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
It's KB for Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. If you're considering new windows, doors, or siding to increase your home's efficiency and curb appeal, I highly recommend Tilton for your home improvement project. Get started at utilton.com. That's the letter U, Tilton.com. KB here. You know winter is coming. Snow, wind, freezing temps. And if your siding is loose, that cold air will howl right through your walls. That's why you need Javier and the team at Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. They've kept Milwaukee homes warm for years with the industry's most advanced solid core siding, built to handle anything Wisconsin throws at it. It boosts curb appeal, lowers energy costs, and comes with a lifetime limited warranty that's even transferable to the next owner. So get your siding project started today by going to utilton.com. That's the letter utilton.com.
Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. We've got what you're looking for. Tilton Windows, Doors, and more. We've got what you're looking Tilton Windows, Doors, and more.
Famous Footwear has the latest styles from all my favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. And with over 830 stores, Famous Footwear is always nearby with fit experts to make sure my new shoes fit my feet and mom's budget. She says the prices are like really good, so you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Right now, buy one pair of shoes, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear store. Some exclusions apply.
Message marked urgent. We're here for you now on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line at 1-877-794-1973.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
This hour of No BS brought to you by Happy Place Hemp at happyplacehemp.com. Everybody relax. Delta 8, Delta 9 gummies are here for your enjoyment. And they can also ease some of the stresses of your baseball team losing 6 of 9. That's not nice. No, that's not nice.
Tough, man.
Losing 6 of 9, because if you're one slip up away from the L10 column tonight on the standings after the game against the Arizona Diamondbacks in game 1 of a 4-gamer, being 3-7. Right? Like that's listen, the L10 column, I think, is a great way to just track where's everyone pacing right now. L10 column would indicate Brewers, it's not as bad as some people would think, right? 4-6 in their last 10. All's fine in love and war. Now 8-2 for the South or for the Northsiders. That is how you pick up a sizable amount of games in a short amount of time, being able to hit the way they're hitting and win games at the pace that they have. You just steady the tide. I wouldn't say splitting 2-2 is okay. Feels like one where it would the fan base would very much appreciate winning 3 of 4. This is a good Arizona team that has struggled all year long with injuries. So how about you just beat up on somebody, get 3 of 4, and give everybody a little bit better vibe going in.
Yeah, it would be nice to put a crooked number up one of these games again. We got a good run up doing that. Now it's part of the winning streak.
Led baseball with the most 4-run innings.
Yeah,
and haven't seen one of those in a couple of.
And I think we all knew that, like, that sort of good fortune's the wrong word. Those good results to that extent wouldn't last forever. But you're kind of hoping, like, all right, you stem the tide. That last 10 column, I like to look at that one, Billy. You know, there are some times when it can be deceiving, but most of the time, it's a pretty good barometer of what you've been doing. And this is just, you look up and you're like, okay, it's still a good lead. It's still August 25th, but for some reason, it feels more tenuous. And that might be our human nature, but we got to just get through this, keep rolling through these.
I'm with you on that. We just got to get through a couple more days, a couple more games, and then listen, once you get to September, and if it's still a 5-game lead, feel a whole lot better.
You do feel better, and nothing's over until that last week.
This week does feel like a big one, because as the Cubs come off just beating the brakes off of the Angels yesterday, a 12-1 victory for the Northsiders and sweeping the Halos out in Lipstick City. They get the Giants coming up starting tomorrow. So, hey, how about we juiced up that San Francisco Giants frauds team that you were hating on?
Yeah.
How about they go out and win 2 of 3?
And Luis Matos better hit again.
Let's do some more of that, Matos.
If you go over 12, I will be irate. If you go over 12 against the Cubs, Luis Matos, who was hitting Mendoza, maybe, and then all of a sudden you can't get him out.
12 hitter all year long.
Oh my gosh.
That man looked like Ted Williams this weekend.
Now, granted, I'm sure a lot of teams looked at us and our lineup this year many times and said,
sure, saying, how is Joey Ortiz winning these games?
Who are these guys hitting against us and stuff like that? But please, Matos, do that again.
Just
Willie,
at least a couple.
And Willie, okay, was excited to be back. Excited to be fired up. Willie, stay hot. Willie Adames. Now you know this is the team you really want to beat, the Cubs.
Yeah.
All
no
right.
doubt.
So I'd like to see that too, Billy. Yeah, that'd be nice.
So if you're still frustrated by the weekend, happyplacehemp.com. Promo code Billy gets you 25% off your entire order every time at happyplacehemp.com. And you can be calming some of your stresses about your favorite baseball team over there. I wonder how many people went to the Potawatomi Sportsbook before game 1 of this 3-game series, though, and did say, Willie Adames, American Family Field.
Oh yeah, I mean you got to think.
I don't know that you could pick an anytime home run. I don't believe you could bet on it being the first pitch, but I gotta bet that there were a few different people that had a Willie Adames blast. I don't know that anybody had 2 bombs.
Maybe the 2-bomb ticket that would have been a big one.
Anybody had the 2-bomb ticket on Friday night? Congratulations, and you're celebrating. How about some of those good vibes rub off on us as we go to the Potawatomi Sportsbook for a parlay of the day?
Time now for Billy's Parlay of the Day, brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
Parlay of the day slumping a little bit. All right, it is what it is. Lost all week last week. The show host may have been very confident in one of those parlays of the day, and
well, it's okay.
Maybe put more than he should have probably done on the parlay.
Well, that's not.
So not great. Gave some of the winnings that we've had back over the last month and a half because we have been rolling.
Do you notice that the Brewers and your parlay of the day success and failure have been kind of parallel?
Kind of, yes.
So we got to win for the Brewers. Like I feel like we had to get it done because then the Brewers will.
Then the Brewers will pick it up.
It's been parallel.
Okay,
you know,
so this is where I'm wondering if we got to shake some stuff up here and change some stuff up. I think part of the reason why we've been seeing a lot of that success coincide with the Brewers' success.
Because we bet the Brewers.
We've been betting on Brewers a lot. We've also been betting a lot of same-game parlays on Brewers games.
Which is fine.
Do we go outside of 640 at American Family Field tonight to just let the Brewers play their game, not have to worry about us? Or it is Woodruff Day.
You got Woodruff Day. You have a lot of games still going on, though, Billy, if you wanted to step out, outside. But it's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. This is your parlay.
Well, that's not helpful.
No. And I will say, though, it is a fresh week, which means I believe Christian Yelich is off the no-bet list.
Oh, that is a fair statement, Dave.
So
he's back off the watch list.
A fair statement, Dave. He is off the watch list.
Hot.
He is available, and he is kind of hot.
He's getting hits. I mean, what is he, 2 for 4 yesterday? I want to say.
All right, but Eduardo Rodriguez, left-hander, with a stunning 5.4 ERA. Is this one of these brutal, tough left-handers that we're going to keep Yelly out of the lineup for today?
Yeah, probably.
I don't think he'd be out of the lineup for that.
Okay,
Yelly's a guy who's going to be in there pretty.
Well, the higher the ERA for one of these guys is more likely they crush us. That's what always happens.
Correct. Yes, more likely for 6 innings of shutout baseball.
Okay, so now that being said, are you taking a righty? Because if he's a lefty with that type of juice.
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly who I want to put in the parlay of the day here today. Somebody that I wanted in the batter's box with 2 outs in the 9th inning yesterday.
Caleb.
Give me Caleb Durbin in here, friend of show.
He's getting hot.
Is Caleb Durbin going to be out of the lineup here today, Dave Gasper? Are we going to have to enjoy the Anthony Siegler experience again over at third base?
I mean, I would imagine Caleb Durbin would be in the lineup.
Hope so.
I'd put him in there.
Plus 160 on total bases.
Minus
210 for a hit. That's not us on the parlay.
How many extra did he have? 3 or 4 extra bases? Wait, I'm trying to think this weekend.
He had 6 total bases yesterday.
Yeah, a pair of doubles and a homer, I believe.
Well, yeah, so 3 yesterday, and then he had a double on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love Durbin in there. Right.
Caleb Durbin over 1.5 total bases. Also had himself a autograph signing this past weekend.
I think seeing young Carson really buoyed his spirits.
Yeah, my youngster went over and got his first autograph, signing deal. He did enjoy it. Apparently, my wife said he kind of understood what was happening too.
Yeah,
he did understand the situation more than we were wondering.
He knew it was Caleb Durbin and everything like that.
He apparently for the first 10 feet in front of it, he kept turning around saying, "That's Caleb Durbin." Caleb Durbin right there. Like, that's why we're here, buddy.
That's awesome.
That's what we're here for. Oh, yeah, 100%. And Caleb Durbin seemed like an absolute. We had him on the program.
We experienced it. Yeah.
Phenomenal time.
Yeah.
Seemed like everybody at Southridge Mall had themselves a phenomenal time this past weekend as well.
And let's hear it for Southridge Mall still doing stuff and getting it done out there.
I'm glad you enjoyed that drop in.
Go visit your local mall, Southridge Mall. I remember getting some autographs there when Fanfare was there.
And also shout out Caleb Durbin on a rookie contract, going and doing the autograph signing day of game.
Yeah,
saying, hey, excuse me, when do you guys want me?
Pretty cool.
Done.
Pretty cool.
Check the box. Let's go over there and celebrate and enjoy. They got a couple of good brewers coming up. I think Andrew Vaughn is going to be over there.
Love
Might
that.
be a Jacob Mizorowski situation that was happening for a difficult one. So let's go with Caleb Durbin over 1.5 total bases here tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, Christian Yelich is available for us here.
Okay. It's risky because it is a lefty, but he's been consistent.
And it is Yelich.
So, as much as I would love to say over 1.5 total bases here for Christian Yelich,
you're just gonna get like a hit and call it a day?
Well, I'm really looking over still. I'm trying to find Bryce Terang opportunities, but that is maybe more of a question if somebody's going to be out of lineup, right?
Yeah.
Dealing with the sore wrist, lefty split, lefty matchup.
Could
All right,
give him a
Yelich.
day.
Get him in there. Get Christian Yelich 1.5 total bases in here. And now we go with Brandon Woodruff, where the question has been, how dominant do we think Woody is here today?
Good question.
What is the pitch count situation for Woody?
That's the
because we
question.
have been backdoored, no pause, a couple of different times, being told all of a sudden after putting in 4.5 strikeouts, 5.5 strikeouts,
Then he gets yanked.
it's going to be a short start.
Well, the Brewers did push him back a day to give him an extra day of rest here, so he should be kind of back more on a normal type of pitch count not anything extra short.
Should be.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see how it goes because he was running into some efficiency problems last time as well.
Right. That was very much not Woody last time.
Yes, correct.
Please don't yank Woody. And the strikeout prop is wild and out. Thank you.
Pause.
Over 5.5 on the strikeout prop, if you were going to look at that, is minus 182. But 6.5 is plus 112. There's a big delta there, a big delta of numbers. So
That's a big word.
It is. I don't love the strikeout prop. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't love the value on 5.5. I don't like where we have to reach for 6.5.
Yeah, I don't
7K
necessarily
is a lot.
love that as well. That is a decent amount. Now, strikeout wise in all of baseball, the Diamondbacks strike out middle of the road. They're technically upper tier. I think 12th fewest strikeouts in all of baseball for a team. You like something else better?
Well,
like a team total of over 4.5 runs against our boy Rodriguez here.
It's not too bad. I think we're finally ready to score 5. Well, he did get 5 on Friday, but to break out a little bit here and get some runs. I mean, Eduardo Rodriguez.
Over 4.5 is plus 650. Brewers money line is plus
All right.
600. Which one do we like more?
Let's go with the team total.
Let's go with the team total.
Then
Because
you have
dang
to
it, we
worry
need
about-
some runs.
And then you don't have to worry about the bullpen.
That's fair.
His parlay.
That
And
might be better.
Eduardo, let's call him Elvin Rodriguez. Come on. Right?
Eduardo, please be Elvin or Carlos Rodriguez.
Well, see, I'm still cheering for Carlos. But yeah, you're right.
Well, poor Carlos got himself into the game
I
and
know.
then had to pack his bag up after the game.
I know, you're right. So I
Carlos,
guess that's
thanks.
over too.
Yeah.
It's been beautiful
Thanks
knowing
for the
you.
3 innings of service. Enjoy Nashville.
Appreciate you.
And it's a good reminder if you're nervous about where the Brewers at, just remember we still have a 5-game lead on August 25th in the division, the best record in baseball still.
And you can't lose a full game today.
You can't lose a full game because the Cubs aren't playing. And this is all still happening in a season where Elvin Rodriguez started for you back in the day. So come on, it's all right.
That is a very, very fair point right there, Armin Sarian. 877-794-1973. In the year of Rodriguez, let's tag Eduardo Rodriguez on the other side. Caleb Durbin over 1.5 total bases. Christian Yelich 1.5 total bases. And the Brewers over 4.5 runs today against the Diamondbacks at American Family Field. Bet big, bet bold, bet above the rest. And go to the Potawatomi Sportsbook for not only your investment opportunities, but for your fantasy football draft. I had a couple of friends from high school hit me up yesterday that they did the Potawatomi Sportsbook in the evening yesterday for the fantasy draft. Said, not a bad spot. Said it was the coolest place to be able to go because everybody was already going to drink. Everyone was already going to eat. And to be able to have the mezzanine area overlooking the sportsbook, pretty wild time.
Yeah.
The videos and the pictures were pretty sweet. Get over there, Potawatomi.com/sportsbook to be able to reserve your fantasy football draft and going very, very, very quickly over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We got to go quickly to a timeout, and then we got to hand it off to the Mike Heller Show. After this timeout, it's no BS on the game.
For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law. Get the beer, get the win.
When was the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or back screaming at you, or walked down a flight of stairs without groaning step by step? Let me guess, this is in the back of your mind. Maybe it'll disappear. I'll just tough it out. But nothing changes. It's finally time to do something about it. Hey, it's Billy Schmid. It's time to call and schedule that free consultation with Dr. Ashley Caravelli and the medical pros at QC Kinetics. There are thousands of patients who will tell you they wish they would have done it sooner. They turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. These are natural cellular therapies. No scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief without the dreaded recovery. Bring your x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Grab your phone, call QC Kinetics right now and schedule your free consultation. It's 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Seed oils, the #1 source of American calories, are combustion engine fuel and industrial lubricants. Seed oils cause arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, and chronic illness. It's not theory. Well-activity equals expertise plus execution. TotalHealthInc.com.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Nagging pain in your back, hip, shoulder, or anywhere in between? You've stretched, iced, rested, and it's still there. It's time for something that actually works. At Game Day Men's Health, they offer EPAT therapy, a non-invasive, FDA-approved treatment that uses pressure waves to trigger healing at the source. No pills, no needles, no downtime. Just targeted in-office therapy that breaks down scar tissue, boosts blood flow, and speeds up recovery. Drew Olson from 97 through the game. I tried EPAT for the first time for pain in my elbow, and honestly, it made a difference fast. No recovery time. I was back doing what I love. Well, I don't really love working out, but I was back doing it pain-free thanks to the EPAT therapy at Game Day Men's Health. EPAT has proven to treat pain in the neck, back, heel, elbow, hip, shoulder, ankle, you name it. No risk of infection, no side effects, and most guys see improvement in just a few sessions. Book your free consultation at GameDayMen'sHealth.com and get up to 33% off your treatment if you sign up in the month of August. With 5 area locations for Game Day Men's Health, you can heal smarter, move better, and feel stronger.
KB here. I'm sure you've heard us talking about and have tried Pep's Draft House Pizza by now, but are you legit? If you're craving the taste of your favorite childhood pizza, make it Pep's Legit. With a stone-baked, cracker-thin crust, zesty tomato sauce, whole milk mozzarella, toppings that take you back, and a signature spice topping. Legit pizzas are the real deal. Pick up one at your local grocery store for the authentic at-home pizza parlor experience. Be legit and try one today.
Brian Butch for Iron Jock Performance Apparel. Summer is coming to an end, but hello football and cooler nights. So let's celebrate with a tremendous Iron Jock offer. Now through Labor Day, September 1st, use promo code Friday Night 35 and you'll get 35% off Iron Jock hoodies, long sleeve tees, jackets, and vests. Perfect for Friday nights watching our Iron Jock guy Isaac Miller crush opposing quarterbacks. Code Friday Night 35 and they'll even throw in a free pair of their low-cut socks. Order now, ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Most insurance accepted.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Partly sunny, dry, and much cooler for our high today. Should see around 68 degrees. Overnight tonight, we'll stay clear, drop down to the upper 40s, and from there, another sunny day and high near 70 tomorrow. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Take 5 Oil Change. Time to get that oil changed? Take 5 Oil Change gets you in and out in just 10 minutes. No appointments, no waiting room. Just drive in when it works for you. Take 5 Oil Change. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
Live from Milwaukee and heard on the iHeart app by fans everywhere. 97.3 The Game.
Number one for sports and stuff.
What's he gonna do?
No BS on the game. Hanging out in the Iron Jock Studios. Summer is coming to an end. That means hello football, cooler nights. Time to celebrate with a tremendous Iron Jock offer now through September 1st. Use promo code Friday Night 35 and you'll get 35% off Iron Jock hoodies, long sleeve tees, jackets, and the official outfit of Drew and KB, the vest. Iron Jock vest is phenomenal. Perfect for Friday nights watching Iron Jock guy Isaac Miller and the Catholic Memorial Crusaders crushing opposing quarterbacks, or losing to Franklin this week at Carroll University, or they'll also throw in a free pair of Iron Jock socks. Iron Jock socks for free and 35% off hoodies, long sleeve tees, jackets, and vests. Order now, ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com. Friday night, I did get to enjoy some spectating.
Yeah, you watched some games.
Football.
Yeah.
Got to watch the Arrowhead Warhawks on my 24.
How'd they do?
Beat the brakes off of Marquette High.
Wow, that must have felt great.
Did feel good, even though I was on this not on the sidelines anymore.
Once they got rid of the dead weight.
Once they got rid of the terrible offensive line coach, they could start
kidding.
putting up 50 and winning games in runaway fashion.
There's a little weird feeling like, oh boy, they're playing well. Do you take pride in that, Billy, because you did impact some of those young men, or is it like should have been there for that? I put in all that work and now I can't reap the rewards.
Now you missed this one.
The crops are coming up finally here, and I put in. They better remember your name. That's what I want to say.
I don't think they do. I don't think they need to. They got other guys there to do it, but it was good to be able to watch. Also good to be able to just bat around and see a bunch of different games. I mentioned the Franklin Catholic Memorial score. That was a phenomenal game. Both teams are very, very good. It's cool being able to be a little untethered and be able to watch all of the games. Also did realize, and maybe you don't notice it because you're in the middle of it, coaching in the game and being on the sidelines. High school football games getting a little long. I was going to say a little long. I think that game ended on Friday night at almost 10:30.
And don't
we're
they have running
bordering
clocks?
on Big Ten football action.
I thought they had running clock in the second half if there's a 4-score. What is it? 5?
35.
Okay, so that's
if it's a 35-point game, or 34-point game. Also, it's still the only sport where in the first quarter, guy runs out of bounds, clock does stop.
And the game has changed a lot. There's a lot more, double
it's
wing
wide
back.
out.
Now everyone's
No
throwing
doubt.
the ball. And then these are high school kids. They don't complete every pass. So
That's true.
So maybe that is a thing. Interesting. And is it nice, Billy, for you to be able to you're untethered now in a way, you're not coaching, you're not working, so you can cheer for your alma mater again? Or are you not even paying attention to them?
Oh, absolutely so. Checking out the Windmill football scores. Why?
I'm just
Why?
curious.
What are you
I don't nothing. I actually have
Why?
no
What
idea.
were you seeing?
I had no idea. I know Greenfield got beat by somebody, so I don't know.
Thank you for calling that out.
I'm just saying. I'm not sitting here saying we're the best. Listen, my address is in Franklin now. So how am I supposed to do this? Do I cheer for Franklin or do I cheer for my alma mater?
I think you just jump right onto that bandwagon and go with the Franklin Sabres.
I don't want. I told myself once upon a time when I was 7, I'm a Greenfield Hawk for life. What am I supposed to do? Cheer against my Greenfield Hustling Hawks?
Well, it's very much like the NWO. When you're NWO for life.
It's tough.
And it makes sense why you were so locked into that. So I'm glad that you're keeping the faith.
I saw the score. I'm not going to say I was locked in and all these things, but
But listen, you're excited, and football season is here, and we are excited. We're always excited for Badgers football kicks off on Thursday night. Very excited for the Packers season kicks off 1 week from yesterday, or 2 weeks from yesterday at Lambeau Field, and we're very, very excited to hand it off to the Mike Heller Show. Thanks to Billy Edwards Jr., Tim Allen for joining us. It's been No BS. Thanks to Dave Gasper, Armin Sari, and I'm Billy Schmidt. Back next with Mike Heller on the game.
Miss a second of today's show? Yes. Well, good news. Right after the show, the podcast